Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to District Championship Weekend here at Spencer County High School. As tonight, your Spencer County Bears, with a record of 8-3, take on the 2 seed in the John Hardin Bulldogs with a record of 7-4. I'm Bo Bruner alongside my broadcast partner, John Hutchins.
How you doing,
John? Another cold, rainy night.
Yeah, we were talking about it. We had rain with Henry County. We had cold last week with Marion County, and the good Lord above's blessed us with both tonight. So, yeah, we're definitely not real comfortable right now.
Now, it's already a little chilly, but we do want to thank our producer who stepped up to the plate for us tonight. John bought us a little heater. We're getting ready to fire that thing up, and hopefully we'll be okay up here.
Yeah, I think next time we need to ask for some steak sandwiches or something while we're on the air. Maybe we'll get something worked out. But.
Tonight, these Spencer County Bears take on John Hardin. This is a team, a game that we seen 3 weeks ago, John. We was over at E-Town. Spencer County won that game 35-7. And in that game, it was dominated from the onset, John, really, by Spencer County. Forced 2 John Hardin turnovers in their first 2 possessions. Also, the pick 6 by Cam Cardwell early in the game, and that Spencer County jumped out to a big lead early and never let go.
Yeah, they never let go. And the one possession that John Hardin seemed to have some success with in that game, we don't really like to talk about officials, but they were kind of helped out a little bit moving that ball down the field.
Offensively, the Bears were led by the Brown Realty player of the game, Gabe Bolin, who threw for 81 yards and a touchdown, but also rushed 14 times for 108 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Bears had 349 yards of offense in that game, 268 of those rushing. Defensively, the Bears held one of the top 5 running backs and top 5 rushers in the state in Keandre Strand to 68 yards. He came into the game averaging 170 yards. Bears held him 100 yards a game under his average.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that they knew going into that game. Keandre Strand, big part of that offense for the Bulldogs.
Spencer County was led in tackles by Jackson McClendon with 12, Nick Stowe with 11, but 7 other Bears had at least 6 tackles. Spencer County went on to win that game by a score of 35-7. Now tonight, Spencer County, we're hearing, has one of their weapons back, if all, maybe just on one side of the football, but there is a Cam Cardwell sighting.
We have seen number 5 dressed in pads out warming up, and rumor has it Cam can go tonight, and we don't really look to see him on offense. That's fine. You know, we've talked about how many weapons we have, and between Gabe Bowling, Kellen Marksberry, Eli Ballard, Wade Hutt, we have these weapons already. We don't really have to have him on the offensive ball, but we talked a few weeks ago about how much of a quarterback he is in that defensive secondary, and so to just get him back out on the field again, his emotion, the energy he brings to this game, I'm sure the Bears have missed it and are glad to have it back.
We'll go over last week's recap from the Marion County game, first game of the playoffs here at Spencer County. That game was played. Cold night here at Spencer County. Spencer won 50-7, led by the Brown Realty players of the game. First, Bryce Roark caught all 4 Gabe Bolin completions for 89 yards, and in a variety of ways. John, he had the long bomb. They had the pass across the middle. They had the screen pass where he went for 40 yards. It's just a variety of ways Bryce caught the ball.
Yeah, between the going across the middle, jumping up high, pointing that ball, but one of my favorite catches I've seen him make all year was right in front of us. Going out of bounds, getting both feet down, making that catch on that high pass. It was just an incredible catch.
Also defensively, Nick Stowe led the Bears with 11 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, but numerous other quarterback hurries, John. He seemed like he was in the backfield as much as Daugherty was for Marion County.
Yeah, Nick Stowe did a great job last week, and it was just we had him up there, one of the Brown Realty players of the game, and he said it as simple as he could. He said there was a hole there, I ran through it, and I tackled whoever was in front of me. And so, he knew what his job was, hurried up, got out there, and did it well.
Kellen Marksberry led the Bears last week, 7 rushes, 76 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But, John, no starters played in the second half. It was a good game to see the reserves get in there, played the whole second half, had the running clock in the second quarter. when Coach Marksbury went for 2 on that last touchdown, and we've thanked him for that.
Yes, we have.
Numerous times since then.
Yeah, it was a little chilly, and we were glad to get out of here. And I hope everybody who watched it last week and saw him go for 2 understand why he did.
Right.
Went for 2 to get to that 36-point lead, to get that running clock. He's going to get his starters off the field, try to avoid injuries, and he's just going to try to get that one done and in the books. So,
number 23, Ethan Hampton, come off the bench, John. He had ended up with 8 rushes for 52 yards and a touchdown in the game, so a good show for Ethan and the future of this Bears team.
Yeah, nice to see those guys out on the field, getting a little bit of playing time, live game type of situation. Marion County showed up here last week with only 29 players. And so they didn't have the second teamers, so to say, to put in there very much towards the end of the game. And so to see Spencer County's second team guys out there against their number 1s from Marion County with their defense and to move the ball down and score, it was a good thing to see.
And that's how Spencer County got here to the district championship tonight. As far as John Hardin, they got here by defeating Louisville Moore 27-12. That game was at John Hardin High School. And the Bulldogs rushed for 333 yards. Led by that Keandre Strand, 20 rushes for 178 yards. But also Andrew Carson, John, had 14 rushes for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns. And quarterback Devin Rogers was 4-5 for 91 yards and a touchdown through the air. So numerous weapons on the Bulldogs side of the field also.
Yeah, and that's the thing we were even watching in film with Andrew Carson. It seems to be later into the season, they like to use him a little bit more and more and more. He's going to line up as fullback. He's going to be the running back right behind the quarterback in their formation or offset if they're in a shotgun. But that inside run, that interior between the tackles where John Hardin's trying to use their size, imposing it on the other teams like Louisville Moore last week, and really getting that extra guy who can do something for you, not just Strand.
We'll also go over tonight a few scenarios for next week should the Bears win. No guarantee of a home game yet if they win, but there's a couple different scenarios, and we'll go over those as time goes along. But there is 8 games tonight in 4A. Those are the games that we're going to try to concentrate on and give you scores of those games as we go along. But the ones we really got to pay attention to, John, is Logan County and Hopkinsville, and Franklin County and Central. Those are the 2 games that Spencer County fans really need to pay attention of. We need one of those 2 teams to lose.
Yeah, we right now, the way the RPI stands, Franklin County and Logan County are both ranked above Spencer County in the RPI. After tonight's game, after the districts are decided, for anybody who hasn't heard us talk about this already, what they're going to do is they're going to shuffle the whole side of the bracket and seed it by your ranking and your RPIs. And so with Franklin County and Logan County both being ranked above us right now, if both of those teams win and we win, we will end up being the number 3 seed out of the 4 seeds left on our side of the bracket, which means we would travel to Logan County next week. But Logan County loses, which there's some talk that could happen. They're playing Hopkinsville. They only beat Hopkinsville 13-12 the last time they played them. And as we discovered tonight, Hopkinsville's leading rusher was out that game.
Right.
And so Hopkinsville has an extra weapon back against that Logan County team with an opportunity to beat them. They lose, Hopkinsville is going to come here. Now, if both Franklin County and Logan County would happen to lose, it's an unlikely scenario, but if it would happen, that would then put Spencer County as the number 1 seed, and then we would end up playing
either the Allen County, Scottsville, or I forget who they was playing
we
right off the top of my.
But yeah, it's one that we're not. That's not a scenario we're really figuring on happening.
Franklin
Simpson, and so we're going to try, like Bo said, we're going to try to keep track of some of these games. But keep in mind some of these games are being played in the Central Time Zone. They'll be starting after ours. More than likely, we won't have a final score for the end of our game, but we will give you all the information we can on those as we're going.
So that's what we've got right now as far as the pregame show. We're going to step away for just a minute, and we'll come back with current updated stats for these 2 games and talk about it a little more. And also a new thing tonight, John's keys to the game for the Spencer County Bears. We'll be back in a minute on GHP-SPORTS. Tonight's game is proudly sponsored by Titchener & Satterley, attorneys at law, Taylorsville, Kentucky. People's Bank is proud to be a sponsor of the SCHS Bears. The People's Bank is an independent, local community bank dedicated to serving Spencer and surrounding counties. At the People's Bank, we are here to serve you with deposit accounts, mortgage loans, construction and land loans, as well as business and personal loans. The People's Bank is conveniently located with 2 locations, 23 West Main Street in historic downtown Taylorsville, and a branch at 5511 Taylorsville Road in Fisherville. Or you can visit us at our website, www.tpbtaylorsville.com. Banking excellence since 1903. The People's Bank, an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Kelly Hubbock is a local real estate agent with RE/MAX Results who serves Spencer County and surrounding areas. She provides home buyers and sellers with professional, responsive, and attentive real estate services. Want an agent who will listen to what you want in a house? Need an agent who knows how to effectively market your home so it sells for top dollar? Well, give her a call at 502-551-8494 or stop in and see her at 19 East Main Street in downtown Taylorsville. She is a female, wife, and mother who understands and appreciates the difference between a house and a home. And she would be honored to earn your business.
Curious what your home is worth? Visit brownrealty.com. Brown Realty, serving Spencer County and beyond for nearly 20 years. Brown Realty, your local realtor.
Mooney Eye Care Center, a medical optometry practice, has 2 convenient locations in Elk Creek and Mount Washington. Doctors Mooney, McGiffin, and Hargis provide the highest level of eye care for pediatrics, contact lens and glasses exams, neuro-optometric therapies, and so much more. Mooney Eye Care Center, complete care for the entire family.
Back here at Spencer County High School, fireworks going off after the national anthem. Give us all a little scare there for a second, John.
Yeah, wasn't really ready for that one. That's a little different than what's happened down here. But it's the district championship, Bo. I mean, you're pulling out all the stops, and let's do it right.
We want to talk about tonight's matchup, John. Matchup of 2 of the top 4 rushing teams in 4A. Spencer County's number 2. John Hardin is number 4. This is the 8th all-time meeting between these schools. John Hardin leads 5-2. 4 of those meetings have been in the playoffs. All wins by John Hardin.
Yeah, that's the one thing coming into this. Spencer County's a little extra jacked up tonight. You know, this is something we haven't had before. We played in this game before, but we've never come away with a win. And right now, sitting in a spot where after beating this John Hardin team 35-7 already and having the momentum we have, having the team that we have the best shot they've ever had.
And, John, we watch film. I actually done it on Wednesday this week. Usually watch film on Tuesday nights. And we talked about it last time, and they made us out to be liars. But this John Hardin team will run some wishbone. And it seems like they've went to it a little more the last couple games, but they did not run the wishbone at all hardly against us. And there's more double tight ends and tried to change their offense up a little bit, and it just didn't work. So we suspect we're going to see that wishbone tonight.
Well, if you're the coaches over there for John Hardin and you look back at what happened 3 weeks ago, the last thing you're going to do is do the same thing you did then and got beat 35-7. So, yeah, we do kind of look for maybe that more of the power running game coming out of John Hardin, because that was something we didn't see in the first game. First game they tried to spread us out. They still are doing that. They're still going to try to do that, get their defense out, our defense spread out wide. But in film, we saw the wishbone. We also saw what I consider the purest form of the wing tee that you'll ever see. 2 wings, 2 tight ends, 1 back in the backfield, and they have that where they can still use that to bounce outside, but also run up the middle with it.
76% of this offensive production from the Bulldogs is on the ground. They are coached by Doug Preston. And he's got a hefty coaching resume, John. 30 years, 3 state championship game appearances, and a 4-time Kentucky 4A Coach of the Year in those 30 years. Offensively, these Bulldogs will be led by who we talked about earlier, Keandre Strand. He's run for 1,721 yards this year, and that's good for second in the state. And quarterback Devin Rogers, who is 39 of 67 for 667 yards through the air this year, but also 398 yards on the ground.
Yeah, that's the thing you got to watch with him. In the last game, they like to use Devin Rogers to return kickoffs. It was, I believe, the second kickoff. He was tackled out of bounds, kind of tweaked his ankle a little bit and made it difficult for him to continue to play in that game. And I don't know if it's continued to affect him or not, but watching the film from playing Louisville Moore last weekend, we still didn't see Devin Rogers run the ball a whole lot in that game. So, it's one of those things, is he still tweaked a little bit on that ankle? We don't know. But, you got to think that they're down a weapon. There could potentially be down a weapon on this Bulldog team.
Defensively, it's Solomon Bennett, 7th in the state in tackles with 108. First in tackles for loss for 29 yards, and leads the team in sacks. So, this team leads the state in forced fumbles. So that's something the Bears really going to have to take care of the ball.
Yeah, Solomon Bennett coming in, number 53, like you was talking about, one of the best tacklers in the state. He's going to anchor this defensive line for the John Hardin Bulldogs. Really make it difficult to work between the tackles. But as we seen in that game 3 weeks ago, just because he's playing on the line, expect to see him getting out on those sweeps and on those outside type of runs that Spencer County likes to run. He's fast down the line. He's still going to try to get there and make an impact on that play.
Spencer County's won 6 in a row, folks, 7 out of their last 8, and got many weapons. Gabe Boland's passed for 624 yards and 11 touchdowns, but also rushed for 532 yards and 8 touchdowns. The Bears, John, have 4 other running backs with over 600 yards now on the ground. So that's, again, just things that you don't hear from high school football teams.
No, you don't hear stats like that at all. And one of the impressive things was we were to the point where everybody was over 500 yards, and it was still the regular season. We hadn't even had the games yet in the playoffs, and the stats are going to continue just building for these Bears. I mean, between the different runners that we have, the different opportunities that we have from some of these players, it's just a sight to see to watch this offense go down the field.
On defense, there's a host of Bears to watch too, including Jackson McClendon, Nick Stowe, Nolan Boston, James Hall, Harrison Allen, Keenan Carnes. The list just goes on because when these Bears tackle, they gang tackle.
They're all there. Everybody's out there to help each other. They're flying to the football. And as we've said many times in games, you can see it out here for this Bears defense. One guy gets a hold of them, hang on, your help's coming.
Now we're going to talk about, John, your keys to the game, keys to a victory for these Spencer County Bears. And the first one on the list is Keandre.
Well, and that's what we talked about. Number 2 in Division 4A with rushing. The offense just really is centered around him for this John Hardin team. And so to be able to slow him down, whether it's running the middle, trying to bounce it out, the Bears did a great job in the first game. He bounced to the outside. We could string it to the sidelines, use that 12th tackler, that sideline, to try to get him down.
And what about live in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood?
Devin Rogers, quarterback, for this Hardin County team. You got to get pressure on him, but be careful because he can run.
And speed kills.
And that's just all year long. Spencer County, we are outsized almost every game we play. But we get that ball in space, and we can really make some things happen.
And that is our John's keys to the game. We also want to introduce to you tonight our sideline reporter, Mike Phillips. Mike, how you doing down there?
Well, it's windy. I'm glad I got a lot of clothes on this week. So when did we upgrade to John's keys to the game? What? Every week we're getting we got John's keys to the game. Hey, look, I think it's going to be a quick game. Both teams, y'all talked about how well they rushed the ball, so I expect a clock that's moving, all this wind down here. It is really, really windy. The rain has stopped, but the wind, it's got to be 15 or 20 mile an hour consistent gust. So expect a lot of runs, quick moving clock. We're going to stop early here, get on the board, play from ahead. I think that's the key. We've got a couple of news stations here, so we know it's a big week when we see those guys here. So glad to be here.
Thanks a lot, Mike. It's good to have you, too. So And, of course, Mike's down there toughing it out on the sidelines. We do have at least a roof over us where we're at right now. We might have a little wind running, but you know, credit Mike down there soldiering through. He's in the grass, he's in the mud, on the sidelines out there in the wind, and here for us every week for it.
Yeah, we've got enough ratchet straps and bungee cords tying this thing down. We lost our last canopy, and this one's not going to go anywhere, folks.
No.
I guarantee it.
No.
So it looks like the Spencer County Bears will kick off to John Hardin to start this ball game.
I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's Class 4A District 3 championship game.
Jack Kennedy with the ball, getting ready to place it. Time for district championship football, John.
Oh,
this
I love
is something Spencer
I love
County
it.
fans have
Love
been wanting this for a long time. The students are down here, John, in their onesies and their pajamas and having a good time already. Let's play some football. Kick is underway, comes down about the 25-yard line, bounces over.
Ball's on the ground.
Bears football with excellent field position.
No, we got officials giving it to John Hardin right here. I think it squirted loose. John Hardin able to get on the football, but there is a player getting up slow down there. Looks like a number 16, Bo. This wind and rain, I don't
have to get out my wet roster here.
Yeah.
That would be Quentin Clay, wide receiver, defensive back, a senior, being helped off the field.
Yeah, he's not putting any weight at all on that left leg, or right leg, excuse me. It's hard to see that even from up here. But John Hardin definitely lucky to retain possession on that. You know, the receiver back there deep for that kick, even putting his hand up, trying to slow it down, and that was really just, yeah, you got to do better than that. If you're going to knock it down, get on it. Don't try to do anything to be a hero on a ball like that, and they almost paid for it.
Rogers under center, hands the ball off, goes up the middle. Looks like a gain of about 6 on the play. Keandre Strand on the run. Here's a replay of that. The ball did squirt loose. We see actually a couple times. Bears had their hands on it 2 or 3 different times there, John, and just it kept wet football, just kept squirting loose.
Kept going. John Hardin definitely taking their time in this huddle on this play. Back judge already with his hand up in the air. Under 5 seconds to get the ball off.
Hand off again, I believe, goes to Strand. Going to get out past the 20. That'll be enough for a Bulldog first down. And up goes up the middle, makes a man miss. He's cut back. Going to get out to about the 40. We close to.
Number 18 on the carry for the Bulldogs, Najee Harrell.
Najee Harrell on the carry. Gets the ball out close to the 40. Going to mark it about the 39-yard line.
John Hardin coming out
About
already.
17-yard gain there.
Yeah, they're already showing that they believe they can run the ball on this Bears team between the tackles, and really trying to do a lot of this ISO stuff, counter stuff, traps, anything that they can do inside just to get blocks and get a few yards.
Here's the wishbone. Handoff goes to the right side.
Number 28,
Keandre Strand again. John, I do see Cardwell on the field.
Yeah, Cardwell's out there. Good to see him out on the field again. This defense, though, really needs to get their head on a swivel. They need to find the football. They need to fill their gaps and stop this, because we can't afford to have a John Hardin team that can move the ball like this against us.
8-yard gain for Strand and bring up 2nd and 2. Handoff again. Bulldogs cross midfield.
Gain of 5 on the play. Gives it to John Hardin.
First and 10 Bulldogs. 9 minutes and 6 seconds left in the first quarter. And up the middle again. They're just they're creating holes there. I believe that's Carson on the carry there.
Yeah, I believe it was, Bo, and that's exactly what we were talking about before with their size. You know, and the size advantage that they have and what they've been able to do while we've been watching film on them is just making holes up the middle. And, you know, Spencer County, that's the one thing that really hurts us is we don't have the brute size on the line that some of these teams have.
Hand off to running back. He's going to break free around the right side. Going to get out of bounds about the 32-yard line. That'll be another first down for John Hardin.
Yeah, Devin Rogers able to break contain on that play. And, you know, just the same as we've got to really pay attention to Keandre. You know, we talked earlier about one of the keys to living in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. You got to be able to contain this guy. You got to get in the backfield, got to disrupt him, but you got to be able to contain him. If he breaks outside, he can really hurt you with those legs.
Handoff goes to Strand, gets around the right side. Going to get forward for about 7 yards. Second and 3 from the Spencer County 25-yard line. John Hardin just having their way on this drive, John. This is something we really didn't see over in E-Town except for maybe one drive.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not the same type of an offense, though, that we also saw when we played over at E-Town.
Number 8, Isaiah Harris on the carry for John.
Harris gets up into the 15-yard line, gain of 10 on that play. Another first down for John Hardin as they're just methodically running the ball down the field.
And this was what I was afraid of the last time we played them. You know, we talked about the size advantage, and they had that wishbone that we had seen before, but not in the game that Spencer County played against them a couple weeks ago. And see, here they line up in it again and just using the power and trying to move the football up the middle.
Strand gets forward for about 5, bring up second and 5 from the 10. 10 plays, 10 rushes so far for the Bulldogs.
Second down and 5, John Hardin from the Spencer County 10-yard line.
Hitting the backfield. That's going to be a loss of a couple on that play. Going to bring up 3rd and 7. I'm not sure did he hit his own guy there, John?
I think he did. I think he ran into him. Spencer County was there. I mean, they were coming up to fill that hole to make that stop. So it's nice to see something positive happen here. You know, if we can shut them down here on 3rd down and at worst, you know, force a field goal try, you know, that would be a great thing for the Bears after the way this has started.
Rogers under center. Has Carson.
Ball's on the ground.
They're still digging for it. It's going to be a loss of a yard either way. We're saying John Hardin football.
It'll be 4th down.
That'll bring up 4th and 8.
4th down and 7, John Hardin from the Spencer County 13-yard line.
Decision time here for Coach Preston. Does he go for it or is he going to kick?
Yeah, this is a spot where if it's me, I kick
kicking.
it. But
he's kicking.
Yeah, he is definitely going to kick. But, you know, and that's what I would do in this spot. Get points on the board early.
Timeout's called on the field by John Hardin. Let's go down to Phillips on the sideline.
I don't know, from the place, maybe a 27-yard field goal, and this is dead into the teeth of this wind. So I don't know what kind of kicker they have. You all might know that, but this is not easy for sure.
Now we were watching him, watched him a little bit in warm-ups, but they were on the other end of the field kicking, and he had a little bit of length, but that was you having the wind at his back, and so That's a great point by Phillips down there. If he is kicking into the wind, Bo, that can really knock that ball down. And that's something Spencer County needs to consider too. Do you put a man back in the back of the end zone just in case kicking into this
Not
one?
jump off sides here because then they're going for it.
30-yard field goal is what it's going to be. Rogers with the hold for the Bulldogs. That kick is up, and it's going to be no good.
Spencer County defense holds.
The big pick-me-up right there, John, for the Bears. And Bulldogs basically run the ball all the way down the field there, and completely different from what we seen over in E-Town 3 weeks ago. But that right there could change the momentum in the game.
Yeah, hopefully it does. If Spencer County gets the ball now, if they can work their way down the field, have one of those breaking drives like we've seen before, and put points on the board, that could be a huge momentum shift for these Bears. Now, keep in mind, we did play this John Hardin team a few weeks ago, and we did beat them, but it is very difficult to beat the same team twice in a season. Things are going to change. They're going to do things different.
Marksbury goes in motion, hand the ball off to Ballard, and he's not going to get anywhere. Loss of maybe a half a yard on the play. 5 minutes, 10 seconds left to go in the first period. It's starting to rain again. But don't have the wind this time with it, John. Right now, let's knock on some wood somewhere.
We'll take whatever we can get right now.
Bowling under center. Hands the ball off to Hutt. He gets forward for about a yard and a half. Ball pops loose, but he was on the ground. It's going to bring up third and about 9.
Third and very long.
We'll bring up third down to 10 Bears when they're on 20.
Bowling goes back in with the play. Bowling rolls out the pass, looks back across the middle, throws it low, trying to get to Eric Henry. Ball was behind him and a little low. That's going to bring up fourth down. And Kennedy and the punt team will come on.
Yeah, that was a little rough. Of course, Spencer County trying to run the ball the middle on that first play. And that's typical of what Coach Marksbury will do is he wants to try to use that, try to get them looking at the middle so he can break these things on the outside. But when you don't get any production on second down either, it's very difficult on that third. We do have a flag
down. Ball hits. It takes a good Spencer County bounce.
The ball's loose, too. John Hardin did jump on it, though.
About a 48-yard punt by Kennedy.
Preliminary indication, false start against Spencer County.
As a false start is what the official's showing on the play, or illegal motion. See, that's a situation right there with the call being what it is and wasn't a dead ball call. If John Hardin did want us to re-kick that ball, they could accept that penalty and we could re-kick it. But, apparently they're happy with the fact that they at least retained possession on that punt, aren't really upset too much about the field position being down there on, it looks like about the 35-yard line. Actually, 38 maybe yard line. And so not terrible field position. They have the football after almost losing it on 2 different kickoffs now. I think I'm with them. I just go ahead and keep it and let's go.
Rogers hands the ball off. Keandre Strand met by a host of Bears. Gets forward for maybe a yard.
33, Keenan Carnes and a host of Bears.
Keenan Carnes leading the way on that tackle.
No gain on the play.
That's what we needed to see out of this defense. The thing that concerned me about the offensive possession with the 3 and out for Spencer County was the fact that our defense didn't get a lot of rest. They didn't get a chance to sit alongside, really look at what was happening. Okay, how are we going to make adjustments, come out here and stop them on the second drive? first play, snap, be able to stop them at the line of scrimmage. It's a great job. Let's see if they can keep it up.
2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. Rogers looks to pass. He's going long. Good coverage by the Bears. That ball is incomplete.
Number 4, Devon Rogers' pass, ball's incomplete.
Trying to pick on Cardwell there, John. Cardwell played excellent defense. Just up there ready. Just knocked the ball down.
Well, as you can see on the screen, Cardwell, the huge cast covering most of his arm. Even with a cast on his arm, if you're going to try to pick on him on this defense, I'm putting my money on him about every time. You know, he's not somebody you're going to want to test because he will hurt you.
3 minutes, 10 seconds left. 3rd and 9 for the Bulldogs. Counter coming back up the middle. That's not going anywhere, John.
Number 18 on the carry, Nigel Harrell.
Nigel Harrell.
30, Nick Stowe.
Brought down by Nick Stowe on the tackle. That's going to bring up 4th and about 8.
It's going to bring up a punting situation, and as long as that punt was from Jack Kennedy on the last go-around, we actually do stand a chance to gain a little field position here versus where we last had the ball. So let's see what Spencer County can do here, if they're going to try to put any pressure on this punter or not.
Kellen Marksbury back deep for the Bears, something we haven't seen, John, really a whole lot. Last couple games, the Bears have been content to just let the ball land and roll out. That ball is on the ground. Barely gets the kickoff. Marksbury's going to let it roll. It's going to hit about the 28-yard line and roll down to about the 23, where the Bears will take over 1st and 10 with 2:16 to go in the first quarter. Let's go down to Coach Phillips on the sideline.
Hey, big thing, I know John was talking about that, like making adjustments. Much better job by our front four there, not getting blown up like they did on that first drive as John Hardin marched down the field on us. And just watching down here, Cam Cardwell being on the field makes, I know y'all know that, all you all that have watched all year know that as well, but that kid just makes a difference with energy, momentum, all of it. So I look for a drive right here. Let's see what we can do offensively.
10 Bears from their own 23-yard line.
Bolin up under center. Got Eric Henry out wide here to the right. Handoff. No, Bolin's going to keep that one himself. Go up the middle. Get forward for about 7 yards on the play. Put the ball in the stomach of Eli Ballard there, John, then pulled it back last minute.
Yeah, and just followed him. You know, Ballard being able to turn in from ball carrier to lead blocker right there for Bolin. And it was a great 7-yard play. You know, that last drive, negative yard on the first one, only getting a couple on the second, you know, so to get that 7-yard play, and Coach Phillips is right. You know, this is the time. We shut them down now, 3 and out. We didn't move the football, and it's our turn. Let's go down and put some points on the board.
Bears hurrying up. Ball's going to Hutt on the wing around. He's going to get forward to about the 35-yard line. John, that should be enough for the first down.
Yeah, I think it is. And tackled there by Solomon Bennett. Again, we talked about him beginning of the game, and he's going to be all over the field. I believe the last time we played him, he lined up a lot of nose tackle type of position on the line, and they've got him standing at middle linebacker right now. I think they're really trying to give him an opportunity to be loose, to see what's going on, pursue the play, and make these tackles.
We go under 1 minute here in the first quarter. Quick first quarter. Clock continues to run when you run the football.
Yeah,
it don't take long. Bolin keeps it himself again. He's going to get forward to about the 39-yard line. Pickup of about 5 on the play.
Yeah, Coach Phillips down there is a prophet when it comes to this clock running the way it is. I'm going to see if I can get my Powerball numbers from him here for the next run.
And we do have to say, you know, Cam Cardwell is back, but he isn't playing offense. He's probably just going to play on the defensive side of the ball, but still, that's a big upper for this Spencer County sideline.
Well, that last possession that John Hardin had, and seeing Cam there, people could see him out on the field with the huge cast that he has on his arm. There's just
that one goes to Ballard up the middle. He's going to get forward to about the 45-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play. That'll be enough for the first down. Stop the clock long enough to move the chains. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Your score after one, Spencer County 0, John Hardin 0. We'll be back in a minute on GHP Sports. The People's Bank is proud to be a sponsor of the SCHS Bears. The People's Bank is an independent, local community bank dedicated to serving Spencer and surrounding counties. At the People's Bank, we are here to serve you with deposit accounts, mortgage loans, construction and land loans, as well as business and personal loans. The People's Bank is conveniently located with 2 locations, 23 West Main Street in historic downtown Taylorsville, and a branch at 5511 Taylorsville Road in Fisherville. Or you can visit us at our website, www.tpbtaylorsville.com. Banking excellence since 1903. The People's Bank, an equal housing lender, member FDIC. Back here at Spencer County High School, Spencer County driving the ball down the field, their second possession of the game. The ball's going to go out to Marksbury. He's going to cut it back to the right side. He's got one man to beat to the sideline, cuts back, makes him miss, gets forward. He's going to get yardage out of that, John, maybe a yard or two, but he run about 80.
Yeah, he did. He worked hard for that yard or two that he got, but, great job there by Kellen Marksbury. He didn't have anything coming to the left side, couldn't see it. Tacklers in front of him, blockers weren't there. Be able to cut that back, and the most impressive thing is make that man miss just so he can get positive yards.
Second and 7, their own 48-yard line. Other scores from 4A, Boyle County leads Lexington Catholic 7-0. Central leads Franklin County 21-0.
Wow.
That ball goes up the middle to Ballard. Big run.
He's still
running
moving
over people. Gets across the 35 down to about the 34-yard line. About an 18-yard pickup by Eli Ballard.
Eli Ballard just mowing people over right there. All that low-end torque he had driving in them legs and just running people over. It was a great run there, 2-1.
First and 10 Bears now at the John Hardin 34-yard line. Against Central over Franklin County right now, 21-0, John. That's the game Franklin County blew them out.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
That's
a surprise. And we were talking about the scenarios earlier in the game. Spencer County needs it, not only to win this game, but they need Franklin County or Logan County or both, actually,
to win.
On
the field, Spencer County.
As long as
one or the other. First, we're going to step away here for just a second on GHP Sports. We'll be right back.
Mooney Eye Care Center, a medical optometry practice, has 2 convenient locations in Elk Creek and Mount Washington. Doctors Mooney, McGiffin, and Hargis provide the highest level of eye care for pediatrics, contact lens and glasses exams, neuro-optometric therapies, and so much more. Mooney Eye Care Center, complete care for the entire family.
Back here at Spencer County High School, John, we was talking about the scenarios. First and foremost, we want to say, of course, Spencer County's got to win this game.
Yeah, we got to win this game.
We got to play one game at a time. We understand that. But it is so much fun talking about the different scenarios that could happen.
Yeah.
But if either Franklin County or Logan County loses and Spencer wins tonight, we will host another game in these playoffs. And, folks, that's the quarterfinal game of the state.
Yeah, if one of them loses, we know we're here.
Counter goes to Marksbury, cuts back up across the middle, going to get about 2 on the play. Bring up 2nd and 8.
I know we were down here early tonight, Bo, so we could set up a canopy, try to be in the dry again, and we went and got a sandwich before we came back over to really set up and call. And we were discussing this while we were waiting on our food, and, the unreal scenario is Logan and Franklin County both get beat. And if both of those teams get beat, leave Spencer County as the number 1 seed in the district, which as long as we keep winning, we're going to be at home clear up to the state championship game.
Yep.
So there's a lot of cool ways that you can work it out. So
Dolan drops back to pass, looks across the middle. Oh, that ball hits Rourke. Rogers got his hand in there, John, probably threw the eyesight off on Rourke a little bit, but
Yeah, Rogers
Passes
with
incomplete.
great coverage actually right there. That was a little difficult one to try to sneak in there. Bryce Rourke having to stop to try to make that catch, allowing Devin Rogers the opportunity to get in front of him and knock it down. So it's one of those that the last time we played John Hardin, we were able to use that pass. We were able to fake that run, be able to send somebody up the seam, get beyond the safeties, and I guarantee the coaches and the players have learned from that.
3rd down and 8. Ball on the John Hardin 32. That ball is going to go up the middle to Ballard and not going to get anything off of. This is 4-down territory, ain't it, John?
Yeah, you don't really stand to gain a whole lot if you punt, because more than likely you're going to get a touchback in the situation, so you might get 10, 11, 12 yards.
Yeah, you're looking at least a 49, 50-yard field goal.
And
from
it's
here.
too long for the field goal. This is you got to go right here. This is no man's land.
Bringing McClendon in probably for blocking services here.
Yeah, they used him a couple weeks ago and last week both to set him out there on a wing and be able to seal off something.
4th and 8.
Fun to watch him play
Marchbury
offense.
and Rourke out wide to the left. Big play here for the Bears. Bolin in the shotgun. He's going to keep it himself, and he's not going to get anywhere, John. He's actually going to lose a couple yards. Don't understand that call, really.
No, I think in a situation like that, you really needed to try to get the ball into somebody else's hand a little bit quicker. You know, any play that takes that long to set up in a situation where it's 4th down, it's usually doomed to fail because so many things can happen on that defensive side of the ball to be disruptive. So Spencer County, with the speed they have, we talked earlier with keys to the game, you know, speed kills. Get that ball to the outside, whether you'd have done a little tunnel screen, bubble screen, something like that on the outside. Try to get the ball into a playmaker's hand and get some yardage.
Rogers hands the ball off to Carson up the middle. Stopped quickly. Ethan Holder in on the tackle for the Bears.
Yeah, great job there by Ethan Holder, and he is one of the big men we actually do have. You know, so it is nice to see somebody some size up there on the defensive line. Nice to see him be able to shed that block and make that stop.
2nd down 7 for the Bulldogs. Counter goes to Strand, and there's nothing there. He's going to make something of it, though, John.
Yeah, staying on his feet.
Right there, kids, if you're watching at home and Coach tells you keep them legs churning, that's
You
what
keep them
happens
churning.
when you keep them legs churning. That was a loss.
Yeah.
And he's turned it into about a 4 or 5 yard gain.
And if you play defense and coach says keep your head up, wrap them up, do it, because that's exactly what will happen if you don't. You know, that was great penetration there by the Bears. Terrible tackling. You got to wrap them up, hang on to them. Somebody will come help you if you need it, but you got to hold on to them.
Hand off again to Strand.
Number 28, Keandre Strand on the carry.
Going to get forward to about the 45 yard line. That'll be enough for a Bulldog 1st down. A lot of carries so far in this game, John, from Keandre Strand. A lot more than we only seen, 11 carries in the game 3 weeks ago over there?
Yeah, I think it was they had such a hard time getting him going. Now, he has showed some signs of life in this game so far today, and so I'm sure that's why they're going to continue to feed him the ball. But that's also where key on Keandre, you know, the Bears know this is where their offense revolves. You know, if they can get the ball to 28 and get him going, it just makes good things for John Hardin.
Ball going around the left side. Going to get forward.
Number 18 on the carry, Najee Harrell.
Najee Harrell. We'll pick up a couple on the play. Nick Stoll in on the tackle.
Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8 Bulldogs from their own 48-yard line.
These plays right here are the ones that are going to matter for this Bears defense the entire night. These 2nd down plays, shutting them down, not giving them a 3rd and short opportunity, they're going to be huge.
Oh, big tackle, big time tackle in the backfield by the Bears. Harrison Allen get in on the tackle for the Bears. I mean, it took the guy's head off.
It's exactly what I was talking about too. You know, this is those are the ones that matter. Obviously, you don't ever want to give up a big play on any down if you're on defense, but when you're in a position as an offense to try to get to where even if you're going to be on third down, you're going to be looking at a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. That's when it's ideal. So if you could keep them from that, shut them down, move them back, that's what the Bears need to do.
Handoff up the middle is going to get forward for about 3 yards, John. That's going to bring up about 4th and 5.
4th down, I believe they're bringing the punting unit on right now.
Brought down by a gang of Bears, including number 30, Nick Stoll. 4th down.
We don't even have a 36-point lead in this game, Bo, and that clock is flying just like we have a running clock right now. I'm telling you, almost 5 minutes left in the half.
Back to punt for John Hardin, number 85, Jake Owens. Back deep for the Bears.
Jake Owens back to punt. No, not that Jake Owens. Marksbury back deep for the Bears. Marksbury's going to field this one cleanly. Got a little room to get something going.
He's got
about the
a few
25.
blockers.
He's going to get around the left side, out across the 35 to about the 37, 38-yard line. Good return by Kellen Marksbury.
A great field position for the Bears to start out. A great job by Kellen being able to see what was going on, made a man miss, get around the outside, get some yardage. And the way we talked about this clock moving the way it is, under 5 minutes already in the second quarter, no score on the board. Bears, slated to get the ball first for the second half. This is a perfect opportunity. Put some points on the board, get that ball at the beginning of the second half, put some more points on the board, and let's get this one done.
Ball goes to Marksbury again around that left edge. He's going to get out to about the 45-yard line.
Knocked out of bounds by number 3, Isaiah Lee.
Put Kellen over in the bench.
Yeah, I think he head over heels on them chairs.
2nd down and 4, Spencer County, from their own 45-yard line.
6 yards, though, first down play. That's a great game by the Bears. And now just the opposite situation,
Keeps you ahead of the chains.
Yeah, if we don't get a first down here, let's pick up a couple yards, make this third down easy. But, that's exactly what John Hardin's out there to try to stop.
This one going to Marksbury again. Kind of tripped up by Bolin for a second. Keeps fighting forward. Going to get forward to about the 47-yard line. Pick up a couple. 3rd and 2. And again, this is 3rd and 2, John. You got the whole playbook.
You do. You can pretty much do anything you want to there. And whether you do want to run, throwing doesn't seem to be quite the option so far tonight. I know the rain has stopped, but the ball still is a little wet. Players' hands are a little wet. Not something you necessarily want to do unless you have to do. So a 3rd and 2 situation here, I'm going to look for something that's a counter, something to get these linebackers moving in the wrong direction to pick up these 2 yards.
There's a sweep to Marksbury again. It's about the same play 3 straight times. This time, Kellen slips. He's going to lose a couple there.
Yeah, and again, that's not the play I'm going to in that situation. That was a straight up.
He's sending the punt team on. I let this clock run down, John, and call a timeout.
Yeah, I think I do too. You've got 2 of them left. Still running men on for the Bears.
Kennedy's just going to straight up punt it. Ball's going to land at the 40 and go maybe a yard or 2.
Yeah, that's a couple things that have happened here, just these last few plays that I know you don't agree with all of it, and I don't either. I'm not a fan of punting that fast. Like you had mentioned, this is a point in time where you want to try to run that clock. If you're going to give the ball back to John Hardin, you don't want to leave them with that much clock to try to move the ball down the field and score. Second thing that I wanted to make sure, with that situation with running that sweep, that was just a simple swing left type of motion. All they did with Marksbury around there, got him the ball right away. And, there was nothing tricked there at all. Linebackers able to read it, weren't able to move the ball.
Goes to Harrell, goes around the left edge. Going to get knocked out of bounds about the 41-yard line. Let's go down to Phillips on the sideline.
And I think one thing with that quick punt, I really think Coach is thinking 3 and out there with a timeout or 2, and he gets the ball back with a couple minutes to go is what I think is happening.
And that could be the case also.
Yeah, I think that's truly. He thinks defensively they're going to stop this team. So I think in his mind he's thinking, give me the ball back a minute and a half, and I might be able to go score.
Yeah, that's not a terrible thing. I still don't agree with the third down call. Again, I'm going to run a counter. I'm going to do something to get the eyes of the linebacker or the safety looking somewhere else, moving somewhere else, trying to get those 2 yards. But, we'll see what happens here.
Rogers going to look to pass. Couple Bears chasing him. That pass is complete out to Carson. He's hit at the 45, but breaks free. Going to get down about the 40-yard line. A lot of yards after catch there for Andrew Carson.
Yeah, Cam Cardwell a little frustrated with himself in there. First man there making that hit, playing with that cast, having a hard time wrapping his arms around him and wasn't able to hang on.
Couldn't tackle one arm.
First and 10. Still 3 minutes left. Clock stopped with the ball going out of bounds. Coach Preston still has 2 timeouts himself. Ball goes to Carson. Hit hard. Going to get forward to about the 32-yard line.
Number 8 on the carry. Isaiah Harris brought down.
Isaiah Harris. Cam Cardwell in on that tackle. We'll get a timeout here, I believe. Sideline warning against the Bears.
Second down and 4, Bulldogs from the Spencer County 32.
Counter goes to Strand, brought down immediately.
Number 28, Keandre Strand on the carry.
No gain on the play. Phillips, was that sideline on Coach down there?
I couldn't tell. I was a little bit far away there. But they've been pretty calm tonight. I've seen a few of our sideline warnings this year. And that one there, I haven't noticed a lot. Coach is telling people to get back, so I don't think it's on Marksberry. I believe it's on one of his staff members.
Yeah, usually what happens in a situation like that, when you have that long play like that running down there, officials are going down the sideline. And that first couple yards that you have on the sideline is that room for that official to get through there. And if somebody's in the way and they run into them, it's going to automatically be a warning.
Nick Stowe, gain of about 2.
Like he's brought it just short of the first down. It's like 4th down and less than 1.
4th and 1 for the Bulldogs. They no doubt are going to go for it. Minute 37
we got
left.
A little bit of confusion, I think, going on with the officials and whether or not it's a 4th down or a first down. And I believe we're going to see the chains come out.
If the officials are going to stop the clock, the chains better come out.
And the official, he's already signaling first down without the measurement. A little disappointed in the fact that if it was that close and there was that much of a controversy talking about it between the officials, that they didn't at least bring the chains out to check it.
Yeah. First and 10 Bulldogs. And handoff goes again to number 8.
Number 8, Isaiah Harris.
Isaiah Harris. A lot of different Bulldogs running the ball tonight, John. We didn't see a whole lot of that last month when we was over in E-Town.
No, they had a hard time sustaining drives, though, last month. That was one of the things the Bears had going for them defensively. A lot of 3 and outs for them there 3 weeks ago, and I think John Hardin's really found a formula here between the tackles.
Again, getting the ball, tries to get to the outside. Bears set the edge well.
Brought down by number 20, Bryce Rourke.
Bryce Rourke in on the tackle. Timeout, John Hardin.
Timeout, John Hardin.
43 seconds left. They still have 1 timeout remaining, John.
Yeah, the first half's flying by. I mean, absolutely flying by. Phillips was right, down here running the football as much as both teams are. It's just one of those that Spencer County's going to have to find an answer for that inside attack that John Hardin has right now. And they're really controlling the ball. They're controlling the time of possession. They're controlling the momentum. They're controlling the clock. And although the score is 0-0, I mean, we are just one little quick, break and it could be 7-0. And, really don't want to go into halftime like that if you're the Bears, having just given up points. So, hopefully the Bears can get a stop here. They did give them a first down on that last play.
Other 4A scores right now. In the second quarter, Boyle County leads Lexington Catholic 21-0. Also in the second quarter, Central leads Franklin County 28-7. And Johnson Central leads Letcher County Central 28-14 at the half. Rogers looks to pass. He's going back across the middle. Ball's up in the air. Knocked down.
Ball's incomplete.
I believe Bryce Rourke tried to go up and high point that like he did last week on that play, John.
Yeah, not a bad call by Coach Preston right there either. First down, you go ahead and take your shot. You're not far out. There's not a lot of time left in this, but, taking that shot to the end zone, one of two things is likely to happen. Obviously there's three things because you could give up the interception, but from John Hardin's point of view, he's looking at it from, if he completes it, he's got to score. If it's an incomplete pass, he stops the clock. So that way it acts as another timeout.
Goes to Harris.
Number 8, Isaiah Harris.
He's going to get forward and get another timeout here. Called by Coach Preston and the Bulldogs. That's their final timeout, John. 25 seconds left, unless he's thinking about kicking it now. I don't know what the...
Yeah, you're at a spot now. The ball, I believe, is around the 11-yard line, I guess. 3rd and 3, used your last timeout. If you're running a play here, if I'm calling a play, I'm throwing the ball, first of all. And it's going to be either to the end zone or it's going to be towards the sideline, somewhere to where either I'm going to score or it's an incomplete pass like it was there on first down, or if I can throw the ball to the outside, have a good receiver out there to be able to get it, get that first down, and get out of bounds to stop that clock.
The scoreboard's showing he's got one timeout left, but they took one in the first quarter, and they took one just a minute ago.
Yeah, I believe they are out of timeouts.
That was their third timeout that they've taken. They're going to throw it. It's going to be just short of the end zone. First down.
And they're going quick.
He's going to spike the ball there to stop the clock. You don't run the ball no more.
No, this is a situation you have to be looking to throw the football. You have to be looking to throw it. If you are tackled in bounds, 13.4 seconds left, you're going to have a really hard time getting guys back up to the line of scrimmage and be able to spike the ball again to stop the clock and then have fourth down. So this is a scenario you got to think they're looking to throw the football. Incomplete pass, you get a chance to set up for it again, but spiking the football is probably done, running the football is probably done. This is where it's going to be important for Spencer County to really try to get pressure on Rogers.
Flag, false start on the Bulldogs. And that changes everything there, John.
Yeah, that's huge. That is huge because now that's going to back them up to closer to about the 10-yard line, maybe the 11-yard line. And that makes it a little more difficult for them to do.
Second down and goal, I guess we would say. Ball on the 10-yard line.
Now, I will say I'm surprised they haven't reset this clock. I believe it was at 13.4 before.
I believe that's what the official's doing right now.
I'm not going to say it too loud. I don't want the other side to hear me talking about it. But yeah, you're about a second off of that clock, and that was a dead ball penalty.
Official's trying to get the clock reset. Probably about a second roll off the clock there.
Yeah, it was at 13.4 when they snapped the ball. There we go. They've got her set back.
Second down and 10 Bulldogs from the Bear 10-yard line.
Second goal, ball on the 10-yard line, 13.4 seconds left. Now they have the 0 timeouts on the screen. I thought they had taken 3. Rogers drops back, looking to pass, goes back across the middle. That ball is incomplete.
Batted batted down by number 20,
Bryce Rourke. That's the second batted down ball, John, he's had on this drive in the end zone.
Very, very difficult throw for Devin Rogers to try to make right there. Being a right-handed quarterback, rolling out to the left side, throwing to a receiver, going to the right across your offense, and your momentum as a quarterback, as you're going one direction or the other, the ball typically wants to try to tail that way, wants to try to cheat that way as you're moving, as the ball's going through the air. So, threw it behind his receiver. His receiver, I think he looked a little upset that he didn't get an interference call right there, but the ball just way behind him. He was slowing down, have to stop. Bryce Rourke able to knock it down and to just keep him out of the end zone.
27-yard field goal here by John Hardin with 9 seconds left.
He is off on the right hash, which makes it a little bit harder angle for him.
That kick is up, and this one's going to be good. 3.8 seconds left. John Hardin leads 3-0.
And, Bo, if you would have told me coming into this game we would have watched a defensive struggle, I'd have laughed at you.
Yeah.
When you look at we talked so much in the pregame about Keandre Strand, Devin Rogers. We talked about Gabe Bowling and Kellen Marksberry and Eli Ballard and all these offensive weapons that both of these teams have. And right now it's the defenses that are shining through. Spencer County's had their issues in a few spots. They're really struggling to fill some gaps on the line, but to hold this John Hardin team who's been driving the ball the way they are to 3 points, it's still a victory. And I know we're down to 3.8 seconds, but Spencer County is going to get the ball back to start the second half. I look for John Hardin more than likely to squib kick this ball right here just to try to run the clock out and go to halftime. But, Bears will have the ball. Hopefully we can get something moving with our offense and put some points on the board and start working in the right direction.
Only 205 yards of offense total between the two teams.
Yeah, and
we seen Spencer County had 205 in the first half alone over there. So. He's going to kick it deep. That ball's going to go into the end zone.
Number 85, Owens, has kicked Sales into the end zone for a touchdown.
Spencer County will get one play. Do you take a knee, go to the locker room, or you try to pull something off here?
If it's me, I think I'd take a knee. As a fan watching the game, you always want to see the action. You want to see, well, go for it. We could score. But, having, from the 20-yard line or 25-yard line, wherever, with that touchback and having to move the ball down the field to 20, I was right. I get confused sometimes between the college game and the high school game. But anyway, to try to move the ball that far, 3.8 seconds, Gabe Bowling doesn't have the arm to get it, much past probably the 40. So, yeah, that's exactly what you do.
Defensive battle, 3-0 here at halftime. We're going to get Phillips with Coach Marksberry going in at the half, get his thoughts on the game.
You're cutting out. I got nothing from you there. You're going to have to come down this way.
Rough first half, really, for both teams.
50 yards of offense total for these.
Yeah, we got you loud and clear there, Mike.
All right, give me just a second here.
Bears with 50 yards of offense so far in the first half, 17 plays, 50 yards. John Hardin's run twice as many plays, 33 plays for 155 yards. We got Coach Marksberry with Phillips.
All right, real quick, Coach, defensive battle. Is that what you were expecting?
Yeah, they're really good on defense, so we knew we were going to have to play really well, and we were kind of they're playing some things different. They're slanting their front, and they're rolling when we give motion. But we can get in here and get in a controlled environment and fix some stuff. We get the ball, start the second half, so we'll be able to get something going. We need to be able to throw the ball, and they were playing man coverage back here to take away some of that stuff. So we'll get in here and get everything cleaned up, and we'll be fine.
I think defensively you're happy, right?
Yeah, they were running second back through belly that we had never seen. That was that first play where they faked the fullback, and then they gave it to 28. We got that cleaned up. Our defense made a couple of nice stops, and we gave up 3 points. That's a good half.
All right, I'm gonna coach them up. Y'all didn't know y'all was gonna we got a second back with a belly, did you? We got a little coaching going on there. I love it. All right, there you go. Second half.
I don't know that play, John.
Yeah, I'm just thinking all I know is we know all about the bellies.
Yeah, well, I'm good on that part.
We got that part under control.
But here we are at halftime. Your score in the district championship game, John Hardin 3, Spencer County 0. We'll be back with some halftime thoughts and stats right after this. Tonight's game is proudly sponsored by Titchener and Satterley, attorneys at law, Taylorsville, Kentucky. The People's Bank is proud to be a sponsor of the SCHS Bears. The People's Bank is an independent, local community bank dedicated to serving Spencer and surrounding counties. At the People's Bank, we are here to serve you with deposit accounts, mortgage loans, construction and land loans, as well as business and personal loans. The People's Bank is conveniently located with 2 locations, 23 West Main Street in historic downtown Taylorsville, and a branch at 5511 Taylorsville Road in Fisherville. Or you can visit us at our website, www.tpbtaylorsville.com. Banking excellence since 1903. The People's Bank, an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Kelly Hubbock is a local real estate agent with RE/MAX Results who serves Spencer County and surrounding areas. She provides home buyers and sellers with professional, responsive, and attentive real estate services. Want an agent who will listen to what you want in a house? Need an agent who knows how to effectively market your home so it sells for top dollar? Well, give her a call at 502-551-8494 or stop in and see her at 19 East Main Street in downtown Taylorsville. She is a female, wife, and mother who understands and appreciates the difference between a house and a home. And she would be honored to earn your business.
Mooney Eye Care Center, a medical optometry practice, has 2 convenient locations in Elk Creek and Mount Washington. Doctors Mooney, McGiffin, and Hargis provide the highest level of eye care for pediatrics, contact lens and glasses exams, neuro-optometric therapies, and so much more. Mooney Eye Care Center, complete care for the entire family.
Back here at Spencer County High School, halftime, your score, John Hardin leads Spencer County 3-0 in a defensive game that we did not see coming. As you see your stats up there on the screen, John, first down, Spencer County only managed 50 yards total with 3 first downs in that first half, just not moving the ball like they did over in E-Town 3 weeks ago.
No, they really are having a hard time getting going. We talked earlier about needing to get into space. I still think that's the answer for the Bears, trying to get out there, getting their athletes out in space, trying to make some guys miss. But, we talked about this being a defensive battle. It's impressive that the Spencer County Bears have only held them to 3 points after giving up 155 yards in that first half.
John Hardin, 155 total yards, 127 on the ground, led by Keandre Strand with 9 rushes for 43 yards. As much as they've run the ball, John, we've still held them below their average.
Yeah. The defense is doing great. There's no issue with that at all. 3 points to give up to this John Hardin team who, don't get me wrong, they've earned the right to be here in this championship game with the Bears. And so for them to hold them to the 3 points with the totals that they have in rushing, when it comes to their passing yards, when it comes to everything they have going on up there, it's a great job by this Bears defense. And, we're just really struggling to get that ball going, and that's what's going to have to change for the second half.
Devin Rogers, quarterback for John Hardin, 2 of 5 for 28 yards. As we said, Keandre Strand, 9 rushes, 43 yards, and Andrew Carson, 5 for 26. As far as Spencer County goes, individual stats, Gabe Bolin 0 for 2. Eli Ballard leads the way on the ground, 4 rushes for 24 yards. Gabe has 3 rushes for 11 yards, and Kellen Marksbury 5 for 10 yards. So that side of it, John Hardin has really shut Spencer County down is the difference.
Well, and that's what Coach Marksberry was talking about there going into halftime. They are trying to run a lot of stunts, a lot of twists, a lot of different things that they're doing on that line and with their linebackers to disrupt this running game that the Bears have right now. And that's where you really, as an offense, as the quarterback, as an offensive lineman in that type of situation, that's where you got to learn to recognize some of that stuff. You audible, you make adjustments to be able to still block some of these stunts, some of these twists that these guys are trying to do on that defensive line and these linebackers coming in the way they are to be able to pick them up. And the key to all of it, though, is going to be communication. Communication between these coaches, between the linemen, really be able to work that out and get their blocking down.
Just not a whole lot of offense. A lot of things to talk about here, John, in the first half. That's almost got me covered there. Like I said, they're 2 of 6. I mean, we're 0 for 2 through the air. Other scores, we can talk about other scores from games around 4A right now. And this scoreboard I'm looking at, I just told you, John, a minute ago while we was away, it now says Central 8, Franklin County 7. That game was 28-7 a minute ago, so I don't know if the score's been entered wrong or what the deal is there. Boyle County leads Lexington Catholic 27-0. Of course, our game here, John Hardin leads Spencer County 3-0. Corbin leads Lincoln County 21-6. And Johnson Central in the third quarter leads Letcher County Central 28-14. Allen County Scottsville leads Franklin Simpson 14-7. And we have no score yet, no score being reported from the Scott Harrison County game or the Logan County Hopkinsville game. And that's one of those games, John, we really wanted to keep our eye on tonight.
Yeah. And I don't know. Right now, I'm a little concerned about this one. And that's where my thought is right now. John Hardin doing a great job. They really are. I'm not going to take anything away from them. They're doing a great job moving the football, and of course, it's Spencer County defense has been able to step up, make stops when they've had to make stops. They only gave up the 3 points right there at the end of the half. It's still well done by the defense, of Spencer County. But that John Hardin defense has been a totally different animal this game than it was what we faced there 3 weeks ago over in Elizabethtown. And just the way they're playing, as hard as they're playing, I don't see anybody different on the field than what we had before. It's the same guys. It's just with a little bit more attitude, I think.
Well, and I talked about it before the game. Coach Preston over there, he's a 30-year coach of high school football in the state of Kentucky. Been to 3 state championship games, 2 with Franklin Simpson. Also won back in 2008 with Bullitt East.
Yeah.
So he's been around the block a time or two, and he's seen probably everything there is to see. And when he got in after the game over there 3 weeks ago, he's made some changes, and they've made great adjustments. They really have. And we talked about it before the game. You don't expect a team like John Hardin to come in here and do exactly what they did 3 weeks ago, because they've seen how that turned out. We saw how that turned out. So the adjustments that they had, that they came in with, that's great. And if you want to look at this from a glass half full type of thing, if I'm Coach Preston, over there in the locker room with the John Hardin Bulldogs, I'm sitting there looking at it as, okay, we're doing good. We're thinking more of the same. We're moving the ball, we're stopping them. And so the glass half full is Spencer County's in the locker room knowing they're the team that needs to make adjustments. And so they could change some things. They could come out, attack a different way, use their defensive linemen, their linebackers a different way, because that's one thing that's really hurting us with that middle run is our defensive linemen, they're getting blowed up, and the linebackers aren't getting an opportunity to really come up, fill holes, read the play, and make the tackle. And so we can make these adjustments at halftime, come out here, and it's going to be difficult for John Hardin to answer those adjustments in the second half, if you want to look at it optimistically. Coach Marksberry talked about that at the halftime interview over there. We done real well, and then there was the one drive that John Hardin had in the first half, and he said, we just forgot what we were doing.
Yep.
The guys know. They just thought they'd go make plays instead of just playing their position, and it ended up hurting them. And that's probably some of the stuff that Coach Marksberry is talking to these guys about right now.
Yeah, I'm sure he's letting them know that stay within yourself, play your game.
Play your technique. That's what he said over there.
We've done it all year long. In situations where we were either playing teams we shouldn't play or beat, like Collins, like we beat them earlier this year, or we go into games like it was against John Hardin at Elizabethtown and blow them out of the water. It wasn't a situation that Spencer County did anything special in those games. It's just they played their game. They were themselves. They did what they needed to do. You come into a game like this, championship game, Spencer County's never had that championship before. And, a little bit of hype, guys are antsy. They go out there, and it can be a little rough, when you take that first drive that John Hardin moved it all the way down the field. Yeah, we stopped them from scoring, but it still takes a lot of emotion out of you. Really slows you down as a team. You're not as excited as what you were, and it's hard to get that stuff back. So hopefully this halftime adjustments, the talks that they're going to have in there, guys are going to come out, they're going to be ready to play and do something in the second half.
We got about a little over 3 minutes before we start the second half. Neither team's out on the field yet, so we're going to take a little break. Step away for just a few minutes. Your score at halftime, John Hardin 3, Spencer County 0. We'll be back in a minute on GHP Sports.
Curious what your home is worth? Visit brownrealty.com. Brown Realty, serving Spencer County and beyond for nearly 20 years. Brown Realty, your local realtor. The People's Bank is proud to be a sponsor of the SCHS Bears. The People's Bank is an independent, local community bank dedicated to serving Spencer and surrounding counties. At the People's Bank, we are here to serve you with deposit accounts, mortgage loans, construction and land loans, as well as business and personal loans. The People's Bank is conveniently located with 2 locations, 23 West Main Street in historic downtown Taylorsville, and a branch at 5511 Taylorsville Road in Fisherville. Or you can visit us at our website, www.tpbtaylorsville.com. Banking excellence since 1903. The People's Bank, an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Mooney Eye Care Center, a medical optometry practice, has 2 convenient locations in Elk Creek and Mount Washington. Doctors Mooney, McGiffin, and Hargis provide the highest level of eye care for pediatrics, contact lens, and glasses exams, neuro-optometric therapies, and so much more. Mooney Eye Care Center, complete care for the entire family.
Back here at Spencer County High School, John Hardin back out onto the field. Still haven't seen the Bears yet. John Hardin leads Spencer County 3-0 at halftime. Still looking over, trying to find scores from the other games in Class 4A. Nothing seems to have changed. From Boyle County has scored another touchdown now. They now lead Lexington Catholic 34-0. Corbin 21-6 over Lincoln. Johnson Central now in the third quarter 35-14 over Letcher County Central. Allen County, Scottsville, and Franklin Simpson tied at 14. Still no word from Logan County and Hopkinsville. The Bears come back out onto the field right as the clock is getting ready to hit 0. I'm sure they'll add a couple minutes here. More fireworks going off. That's coming from across the street, ain't it, John?
I'm not sure if it's across the street or if the fire department out there that puts up the American flag for every game, if they're not out there setting them off. But one thing about this second half, Bo, that we didn't mention earlier when we were talking about the stats and we were talking about the situations and the different scenarios and everything going on. Me personally, I don't see where any team really went into the half with any momentum at all. Both teams kind of low on the emotional side. John Hardin might have just scored those 3 points, but I think they went in knowing that 3 points isn't going to do it. And so they weren't jacked up like you might expect a team to be that would be in the lead to be. And Spencer County, of course, going in the locker room a little bit low, a little bit down, hadn't scored, gave up 3 points. But, coming out, it's really it's anybody's ball game right now.
It really is. I mean, and both sides of the ball defensively, both these teams have played really, really well in this game. And the offense hasn't moved the ball for Spencer County like they've been used to for the last, like I said, they've won 6 in a row and 7 out of the last 8. They're not moving the ball like they're used to doing.
Yeah, and it's not a terrible thing to face adversity from time to time when you're out there on the field. You know, we've had so many of these games, even the game that we played in E-Town against John Hardin wasn't a game that the Spencer County Bears were really threatened at all the entire time. And so to coast through the district the way that they did in the regular season, you need this at some point. You know, obviously we want to win this game, and winning this game and getting this education of facing this adversity throughout the game could be good for us next week because, you know, we're bound to play a team that could even be, you know, that much better.
They have put a couple minutes back on the clock. As Coach Marksbury gathers his team together. A few last words of encouragement. A little bit of instruction. A little light in the stands tonight, John.
Yeah, I think the rain, the cold temperatures might have held some people away. You know, and
it's actually not that bad right now. Once the rain quit and the wind died down, it's a little cool, but it's actually kind of comfortable out here right now. Before this game started, when that wind was blowing in from behind us, and like I said, folks, you ought to see how we have this canopy braced down. I mean,
it's the Clampets go to the Spencer County ball game, I think, but you know, we got it down, we got it held down good, and there were a few times where we actually took a hold of it ourselves, just out of concern, but it's standing strong. So.
Let's go down to Phillips on the sideline.
Just something for all our viewers out there to keep an eye. This first drive right here is critical. We all know that, hey, great staffs make adjustments. Coach seemed pretty confident when I was talking to him. I just had that vibe of he kind of knew what to do to fix it, to try to move the ball a little bit. So let's see what happens here.
Of course, Spencer County does get the ball first. Start the second half. Be huge come out right here, John. Just make a statement for the rest of the game. If you remember, this was the drive. We got the ball second in the first in the second half over there in E-Town.
Yep.
And that third quarter, we commenced to having an 8.5-minute scoring drive on that first drive of the second half, and that completely took the wind out of any sail that John Hardin had.
Yeah, and Phillips is right in this situation. This is a very important drive. You know, Spencer County needs it not only for the points, but they also need it just for that emotion, to get that energy back, to get something going. Defense, again, it's playing great football, but if that offense can get moving, get that emotion going, start getting the ball going down the field, John Hardin will have to look out.
And Kellen Marksbury back deep for the Bears. Jake Owens kicks off. Line drive kick. That ball bounces and goes into the end zone for a touchback. Bears will get the ball 1st and 10 at the 20. Kellen come up to field it, and it kind of short hopped him. He got out of the way and let it go by. Probably a good decision on his part.
Yeah, he was still watching it. Obviously, live football. You know, he had to make sure that got into the end zone, but it was a great job. You know, if he would have tried to pick it up, it'd been difficult for him, first of all, to pick it up and get a good hold on it. And I really don't think he would have been able to even get it out to the 20. You know, John Hardin come down the field fast, had great coverage on that. Just a good decision.
Spencer County one wide out each way. Kellen Marksbury to the near side. Bryce Rourke to the far side. Shotgun formation. Ball handed off to Eli Ballard.
He's got some space.
He crosses midfield, tries to cut back. Caught from behind by Solomon Bennett down around the 30-yard line. 50-yard gain by Eli Ballard.
Eli Ballard's not getting up all that fast yet, Bo.
Let's take a second look. This first play from scrimmage for the Bears. Shotgun formation, hands the ball off. He cuts back to the middle. Blocker's out in front, and then he just takes off, John. Ballard is up.
Yeah, it looked like in a situation like that, he might have just had the wind knocked out of him right there.
Landed on the ball.
Landed on the football, yeah. And that'll do it. But still, great run. That's how you wanted to open this second half. Let John Hardin know, hey, we're still here. We still can move the football. We can still get it in space, and we're still going to end up scoring and hopefully winning this ball game.
50 yards offense in the first half, 47 on that play right there. Bolin hands the ball off.
Number 14,
It goes to Wade Hutt. Wade gets forward for about 3 yards on the play. Solomon Bennett again in on the tackle.
Yeah, Solomon Bennett having a great game so far for this John Hardin defense. And yeah, that's what we mentioned before. The last time we played him, we seen him playing a lot of stuff closer up to the line, really trying to stop the interior run. We was able to get to the outside and get away from him. But, now he's standing back there at linebacker, able to see that play, able to run a lot of stuff down, a lot of speed for that big man. You got to look for him. That's the type of player right there at middle linebacker you're going to see at the next level.
Eli Ballard back in the game for the Bears. Again, from the shotgun, Gabe Bolin. One wide out either way. That gives the ball to Eli. He's going to get around the left side. He's got some room over there, John. Cuts back up. He's going to get down toward the goal line. Going to be just short. Another big first down by the Bears.
Great run right there. Of course, it was great to see Eli come back into the game, and I'm sure that's what it was. Just knocked the wind out of him. Nice to get him back in there, get him around the outside. Bears this quarter so far are doing a great job. That offensive line doing a great job being able to pull that guard, get him around out there, seal that off so Eli can make that space out there, get that gap, and get these big chunk yardage.
We've talked about it a lot. We did give the Brown Realty player of the game a couple weeks ago to the offensive line. Chase Simone is a big part of getting out and leading a lot of those blocks when he pulls from that line position. Again from the shotgun. Again going to Ballard.
Number 21, Eli Ballard.
No call yet. Looks like he's going to be just short.
Just shy. Marking about the half-yard line, looks like they're over there on the far side of the field.
Ball inside the 1, second goal.
We've said it over and over again. You dance with the date you brought right here if you're Coach Marksberry.
Give it back to him.
You keep feeding that young man right there. This is Eli Ballard's touchdown to score.
He's gained about 77 of the 80 yards they've got on this drive. Let's give him one more.
Bolin's going in.
Bolin's going to keep it.
Touchdown Bears! Just what the doctor ordered right there. We talked about it coming out here, beginning of this second half. Just what Spencer County needed to be able to come out here, put a drive together, and set this John Hardin defense back on their heels.
Kennedy on for the PAT. Minute 52 seconds, 80-yard drive for the Bears. It concludes with the PAT by Kennedy. 10 minutes, 8 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Spencer County leads John Hardin 7-3.
And you see a different Spencer County team on this sidelines right now. We went from coming out after the half, little bit of emotion. You could tell that they were excited.
Check.
They were happy, ready to come out here onto the field and do something in this second half. And to run that football down the field like they did against John Hardin, this is the Spencer County team we saw in E-Town a few weeks ago, Bo.
Yeah. Let's go down to Phillips.
Complete momentum change on this sideline, man. This is unbelievable. Back of 21 on Eli Ballard just has flipped this game. Just a huge opening drive there, man. That's just bully balls, what that is.
Students have now gotten into it a little more. They're over here jumping up and down.
Back deep for the Bulldogs, number 25, Bruce Mills, into the 28, Keenan Strand.
Kennedy on to kickoff. Short pooch kick. Ball lands about the 30.
Ball's
on
loose.
The ground. John Hardin having a terrible time fielding the football on kickoffs, John.
Yeah, and credit Jack Kennedy in that situation. Those are great types of kicks to have. The ball's going to be wet when it hits that ground. It's going to be hard to hold on to. And when he squids it down there, if the up man lets it go by to try to get it to your speedy guys who are back there deep, you're giving that coverage more time to get down there, making it harder for him to field that football. Or The other side of the same coin, if the up man fields the football, now you have the guy who's slower fielding the football, easier to play coverage on him. So it's a great type of a technique to use on kickoff.
Handoff goes to the right side. Keandre Strand. No, Isaiah Harris on the carry.
Hey, Charlie, is there anything when I –
Second and 5 for the Bulldogs. Ball on their own 24-yard line. Handoff goes up the middle this time. Tries to bounce it out to the outside. Not going to get much on that.
He looks like he's going to be close.
He's going to be close. I believe he's going to be just short. Nope, first down.
And understand, folks, if you haven't been with us before, if you haven't heard us call games here at Spencer County, we're on about the opposite 10-yard line from where the football is right now. So please, be patient with us with some of these numbers, trying to see some of what's going on yardage-wise and everything, and we'll do the best we can for you.
And off. Keandre Strand again goes around to the right side.
Yeah, about 2.5, 3 yards on that play, Bo. And Spencer County, again, you need to be able to have this. It all starts with that defensive line. It starts with that front four. That front four has to be able to take care of their job up front to let these linebackers have room to move. Let them be able to get around, to see what's going on and make a play on the football. If you let that offensive line get up to the second level, you're going to give up chunks.
Rogers going to keep this one. Looking to pass. Now he's running for his life. He's got a lot of room. Got a blocker out in front of him. Makes one man miss. Going to get down inside across the midfield to about the 48-yard line. Big pickup. About 20 yards for Devin Rogers.
The pickup of 24 yards on the carry. That's good for a Bulldog first down.
And we talked the keys of the game. You have to get pressure on Devin Rogers. He'll make mistakes if you do, but it has to be contained pressure.
Contained.
You have to be able to set that edge. You have to be able to keep him in that bubble, in that pocket right there. And then you get pressure on him, he will make mistakes.
And off to the up back. Carson on the carry. Going to gain a couple on that.
Hit first by number 30, Nick Stowe.
Nick Stowe in on the tackle. Ball on the Spencer County 45-yard line. Second down and 8. So important. Keep that momentum up, John. You got the big score on the first drive of this second half. That defense has got to get a stop here.
Yeah, and this is where you need to really work on this second down. You got to shut this second down, make it a long third down, and get an opportunity to get the football back.
Ball goes to Strand.
Number 28, Keandre Strand.
And moves forward. It's going to get close to the line to gain. They're moving the sticks. First down.
Bulldog first down and 10. John Hardin from the Spencer County 37-yard line.
First and 10 Bulldogs. Ball now on the Spencer County 37-yard line. 6 minutes, 33 seconds left to go in the third.
Number 8, Isaiah Harris.
Isaiah Harris gets the carry.
And John Hardin, it's more of the same for them on the offense is what we're seeing out of them in this second half. Between the tackles, they're just beating us between the tackles. They're beating us with their offensive line. They're getting a good push on that defensive line, and this is where these guys at front four for Spencer County has to stand tough. You have to be able to take care of your job, let the linebackers fill the gaps, make these stops, and shut these Bulldogs down.
Pitch goes out to Strand.
Number 4, Devon Rogers.
No. Yeah.
Number 28, Keandre Strand. He's running out of bounds.
Yeah, those numbers, they can be hard to see, can't they, Bo?
Well, I seen him pitch the ball. I thought that was DeStrand, but that's a long way the other side of the field for us.
We got a third down
and 5.
Yep, and this
is definitely 2-down territory.
Yeah, this is something where we need to no gain right here. We have to give them a fourth and at least moderate, if not fourth and long.
Handoff breaks free, gets across the 20, down inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. Flag down behind the play. Flag down at the 24-yard line.
We might have a hold right here, Bo. Yep.
Holding John Hardin.
That's huge. That's huge. That's going to back them up. It'll be from the spot of the foul, which is going to leave them somewhere looking like about a 3rd and 12 to 15 range, somewhere in there. Going to make it very difficult for them to try to convert on 2 downs. Yeah, I think that was only I guess.
The flag was thrown at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, yep. So they're back at the 34. You're right, Bo. I thought it was a little bit further back than that. I thought we was going to have a little bit longer 3rd down.
3rd and 7. It's only the 3rd penalty called in the game. Rogers is going to keep this one. He's got a lot of room around that right side. Enough for the 1st down. Gets out of bounds. And moves the sticks for the Bulldogs.
Contain, contain, contain. That's all that needs to be preached to this Spencer County defense right now. You have to set that edge. You have to hold your ground. You cannot let somebody like Devin Rogers or Keandre Strand get outside in space.
Strand hitting the backfield. He's going to take a loss there, John. Lose about 4 on that play. Jackson McClendon caught him from behind, takes him down.
Yeah, and one of the first times Jackson's name has been called tonight, too. He's had a pretty quiet game so far, and that's somebody that Spencer County could really use right now and could really get some emotion going and get playing hard in this and shut this team down.
Loss of about 3 on the play. 2nd and 13. Ball on the Spencer County 26-yard line. Rogers keeping this one. There's another hold that don't get called. Rogers still running, got plenty of time. Now he's just going to throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, officials are going to get together and talk about whether or not it was intentional grounding.
Got to go past the line of scrimmage, which the line of scrimmage was the 26-yard line.
Yeah, but also keep in mind, if Devin Rogers leaves the pocket, he can re-enter the pocket. They are going to call it. That's a loss of downs.
Yep.
But
so that's a.
I'm not going to argue that call with the officials. I don't agree with that call. We'll just make that clear because Devin Rogers did leave the pocket. He is allowed to return to the pocket again, then throw that ball
out of bounds
and not have intentional grounding calls because he left to the side.
Let's go down to Phillips.
Hey, something that's not going to get noticed there. Keenan Carnes, when that kid rolled out of the pocket, man, he read that and he turned and sprinted to cover the guy that was actually rolling out, and that guy was open, and that changed that entire play. So something, if we get a replay there, beautiful job by Keenan Carnes.
They're still showing third down. It should be 4th down. That should have been a loss of downs right there.
Hand off to Strand. He's going to get forward for about 10.
Now officials are showing 4th down. I didn't agree with 2 parts of that call now, Bo. That intentional grounding, that's a loss of downs.
Wind's starting to pick up again, John. I hope it's not blowing in another one.
Yeah, we looked at the radar before the game started, and we knew that it was we stood a chance of possibly having another rain shower come through. And there the rain's starting to pick up. Yeah, it was almost instantaneous. That wind showed up again, and we're holding on to some stuff up here.
Yeah, we're holding on to TVs and everything else up here right now. Delay of game. John Hardin's going to move them back again. John, if you're Coach Preston, you got to punt this ball now, don't you?
You have to. I mean, the likelihood of converting this, and they are going to punt the ball.
Get that ball way up there. It's not going to go anywhere. That ball dies. It's going to take a John Hardin roll down to about the 12-yard line. That's where Spencer County will take over 1st and 10 with 2 minutes, 37 seconds left.
Yeah, it's a great job there by Spencer County. Of course, you know, obviously there's some penalties that help out in that situation, being able to slow down the John Hardin offense. But, you know, we talked about it before. You know, you run into these bend not break type of situations for a defense to where you're giving up stuff. You're going to give up some yardage. You know, Keandre Strand, one of the best backs in the state. Devin Rogers, with the speed that he has, you know, we saw it going around the outside. But Spencer County able to slow him down, hold on to him, help a couple penalties, get this football back, and let's see if we can put another drive on the field.
Bowling again from the shotgun. Hands the ball off to Ballard. He's going to get around the edge to about the 16-yard line before he's taken down. Gain of about 4 on the play for Eli. Bring up 2nd and 6. Tackle made by Solomon Bennett.
I'll take that all day long. You know, you can get that 3-4 yards every play. You're going to go down the field. You're going to score. So let's do this. I want to see another one of those drives like we saw at the beginning of the first half in the last John Hardin game.
Coach Marksbury just giving a different look. Gabe Boland's been in the shotgun every play until now. Going to go back to that wing tee. This time Boland's going to keep it. He's got
room. He's got room.
Boland gets down across midfield. Huge block by Kellen Marksbury to spring him free. Let's go down to Phillips.
When you're standing down and you don't notice a lot of when Gabe Bowling trots over here between plays, they're coached so well. He's almost calling the plays to Marksbury sometimes and telling him what to call. Really cool to listen to and see, man. It also sounds like y'all are doing this broadcast from a NASCAR race. It's pretty windy up there. Sounds like y'all doing about 70 going down the freeway.
Yeah, it's like a jet engine up here blowing on us right now. It's not quite as warm as a jet engine. But
you might see me and John with the drone footage if this tent takes off. We're hanging on to it. Bowling back to the shotgun formation. 1st and 10 Bears. Ball on the 44-yard line. Keep this one again. He's not going to get anywhere. The rain coming in sideways now.
Yeah, we're about to recreate the Mary Poppins scene, I think, here in a little bit. Going to be flying in over a house holding onto this canopy. But
2nd 12, loss of 2 on the play. Boy, I was comfortable to that wing kick up.
I know.
Rourke out wide to the left. Boland's going to keep it again. Not get anywhere again. Maybe gain of 2, get back to the original line of scrimmage. I believe they're going to have to run one more play, Job.
Yeah, I think
before
they
the
will
end of this
here.
quarter.
That's fine.
Win like this, Kennedy can kick a long field goal.
He probably could.
Hey, Bo or Joe, did we lose the toss? Is that why we're going this way right now? Because we didn't take the ball. Did they win the toss and receive?
I don't know who won the toss. I know that we got the ball first and second half. I don't know if we deferred or.
Because there's no way we deferred and took this going this way in the fourth quarter, right? The way we're going to flip this field.
It's really coming down now. There was reports of hail in LaGrange earlier.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the stands that are running towards the field house right now just to try to get out of some of this wind and rain. We did see earlier on radar when we were looking coming into this game that there was one more little line behind the one that went through that stopped earlier. So hopefully this one gets through here quick. The way this wind's blowing, it ought to. But if it get out of here and settle back down, it sure would be nice.
3rd and 10 for the Bears. Coach Marksbury called a timeout there. This one's going to go back the opposite way to Marksbury. Tries to cut back across the middle, and again, gets back 3 plays in a row. They just barely get back to the line of scrimmage.
That's going to be the end of the quarter.
And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. Your score, Spencer County 7, John Hardin 3. We'll be back in a minute on GHP Sports.
Mooney Eye Care.
Curious what your home is worth? Visit brownrealty.com. Brown Realty, serving Spencer County and beyond for nearly 20 years. Brown Realty, your local realtor.
Kelly Hubbock is a local real estate agent with RE/MAX Results who serves Spencer County and surrounding areas. She provides home buyers and sellers with professional, responsive, and attentive real estate services. Want an
Back here at
agent who
Spencer
will
County High
listen to
School,
what you
4th down
want
and
in a
9.
house?
Kennedy on the punt. This one into the wind. And that ball is going to almost go backwards when it got caught in the wind. Going to roll to about the 32, 33-yard line where John Hardin will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, going to be about a 10-yard punt there for Jack Kennedy. This wind really going to hurt that average.
That's almost worth burning a timeout just to kick it at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I would have thought about that too, to be able to go ahead, kick the ball headed the other way.
First and 10 Bulldogs, 11:48 left in the game. Low-scoring defensive battle here at Spencer County High School. Bears lead 7-3 in this district championship game. Rogers under center. Hands the ball off to Harris. He's going to get forward for about 6 yards on the play.
Rain really picking up now, Bo. Getting reports on the sideline from Mike Phillips that this little bit of hail and sleet in this mix too. And
second 6 for the Bulldogs in the wishbone. Hands the ball off to Strand. He's caught quick. No gain for Keandre Strand. Maybe a yard on the play.
Jackson McClendon able to get in there, and like we said earlier, we hadn't called his name a whole lot. Glad to see him starting to go, get a little momentum in this game, and making his presence felt.
Bring up 3rd and 6. Ball on the John Hardin 38-yard line. Wishbone again. Rogers under center. Hands the ball off to Harris. Hit the backfield.
There we go.
Harrison Allen met Harris in the backfield. Loss on the play. Now John Hardin will send the punt team in.
Yeah, they're going to have that opportunity to kick with the wind at their back.
Yeah,
You might be talking a state record right here on this punt, Bo. The ball dropped.
Barely gets it off, keeps it low. It's going to bounce right into Marksbury's hands, makes one man miss. Tries to get to that right side. It's going to get out of bounds. Looks like around the 35-yard line. Bears will take over first and 10. Ball on the 33-yard line.
Yeah, having this rain and this wind back completely changes the dynamics of what you can do on offense, Bo. I mean, this is going to be run the ball. And actually, I'll admit it, I'm thrilled that we have the lead coming into weather like this now.
Handoff up the middle to Ballard. He's going to get forward for, looks like about 8 yards on the play. Second down and 2 for the Bears. Ball on their own 41-yard line. 9 minutes, 13 seconds. Clock continues to tick. 7-3 Spencer County lead here in this district championship battle. Handoff again goes to Ballard. Not going to get much there. No, Bolin kept that one. Again, he's putting it in Eli's belly and then pulling it back.
Yeah, just reading that tackle is what he's really trying to do. Seeing where that tackle is, what type of position he is to make a play. You know, you get in a spot like that where he's there and he's on Eli Ballard, that's when you pull the football out. You have that lead blocker. You're able to scoot by him and maybe get a few yards.
Eli gains a yard on that play, brings up 3rd and 1 from the 42. Almost a goal line defense for the Bulldogs. He gets forward. That's going to be good enough for the first down.
That's just what Spencer County needs to do right now, too. We're looking at a spot where 8 minutes left in this game. One of the most important things they can do is to keep that clock running. You know, keep getting these first downs. You know, we want to get that score too, but right now, eat up as much clock as you can.
Eat up the clock, 10 yards at a time. These Bears are plenty capable of doing those drives. As we talked about earlier, the 8.5-minute drive over at John Hardin earlier this year. Bolin under center again. He's going to keep this one again. He's going to move forward, get about 5 on that play. Jay Cardosi Phillips, is that still just rain down there? Or is it?
It's just coming down in sheets.
Under 4 minutes, 3 minutes, or something like that, even if you don't score, this becomes a really difficult situation for John.
2nd and 4 for the Bears. Trying to move the ball up the middle. That's not going anywhere. We'll get back to about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, very important to keep this ball moving. Keep that clock running. I mean, even right now, we're at a point where it's going to be somewhere around 6 minutes before Gabe's going to have to snap that football. You use every second of it right now if you're the Bears.
Yeah, you don't have to score here if you're Spencer County. Just keep marching the ball down the field, use clock. Gabe's going to keep it again and get back to maybe get a yard on that play. It's going to bring up 4th and 3.
See, now you start talking about all this, the wind and everything that's going on right now that the Bears are playing into. You got to consider now maybe just going for it. You know, we saw that punt a little bit ago, 10-yard punt, really not doing a lot for field position. You need 3 yards, and this is an opportunity that you could try to get those 3 yards, keep that clock moving.
Bolin going back out. Could be the biggest play of the season right here for the Bears. Coach Preston with all 3 of his timeouts left. We'll try to draw him off sides and maybe call a timeout.
That's just what they did, too.
Yep. Timeout, Spencer County. 5 minutes, 20 seconds left. We're going to step away here for just a second here on GHP Sports. Your score, Spencer County 7, John Hardin 3.
Kelly Hubbock is a local real estate agent with RE/MAX Results who serves Spencer County and surrounding areas. She provides home buyers and sellers with professional, responsive, and attentive real estate services. Want an agent who will listen to what you want in a house? Need an agent who knows how to effectively market your home so it sells for top dollar? Well, give her a call at 502-551-8494 or stop in and see her at 19 East Main Street in downtown Taylorsville. She is a female, wife, and mother who understands
back at Spencer County
and
High School.
appreciates the
Spencer County going for it on 4th down. Snaps low.
We do have a flag on the play. This could be a crucial call right here, Bo, depending on who it goes against.
He's asking Preston if he wants the penalty.
Well, false start situation, it would be a dead ball.
Picking up the flag. And the punt team comes on.
No, that was 4th down. That's
Yeah,
turnover
that's right.
on downs right there. So we got 5 minutes and 17 seconds left. Defense needs to come up big once again for these Bears.
Ball on the Spencer County 48-yard line.
And John Hardin needs a touchdown. I didn't say it earlier. We scored that touchdown coming out here in the second half. And I thought about, that PAT that Jack Kennedy had, and with them having the 3 points, that PAT could turn into be a big thing right here.
Wishbone. Handoff goes to Harris. He's met in the backfield. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Cam Cardwell in on the tackle. Now the clock runs under 5 minutes. John Hardin does not seem to be in a hurry. They do have all 3 timeouts left. Looking to pass. He's going long. He's got a man wide open. Incomplete. Perfect play drawn up by Coach Preston there. Good throw was a little bit behind him, but very catchable ball thrown by Devin Rogers. That ball is incomplete.
Yeah, that's where these elements are really wreaking havoc on what you can do on the offense. And the wind, the way it's blowing, the rain, the wet on the football, it makes it difficult to catch. And I understand them calling that play. It's a great play. Our defense had snuck up. They're trying to stop this run. It was a good job by Coach Preston to draw something up to try to get behind us.
3rd down and 10, 4:34 to go in the ball game. That ball's going to go to Harris. He bounces it out to the outside. He's going to be met by a host of Bears. Let's go down to Phillips.
Hey, that was a great call by them a while ago to try to, but it's borderline a miracle to try to complete a pass down here right now. I mean, this has got to be 30-mile-an-hour wind blowing straight. They're going straight downwind. So I don't know what you call here 4th and 8, but I don't know if you can complete it. Completing an 8 or 10-yard pass, and this is a tall task for high school kids.
4th down and 5, they're calling it. 3 minutes, 56 seconds left. Huge defensive play for Spencer County Bears season right here.
Don't jump off sides.
Looking to pass again, goes out into the flat. I believe that ball's on the ground. They're calling it complete. That ball looked low to me.
Did he get to the sticks?
They're talking about it. Officials have gotten together. I think there's confusion of whether or not it was even a completed pass. To me, from here, it looked like it bounced.
Hey, Charlie, replay.
They are giving him the first down.
They are giving him the first down. Ball on the Spencer County 38-yard line. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. Clock's running again. Under 3:40 to go. Again, Bulldogs do not seem to be in a hurry. They're content on letting this clock run down, but, John, they've got to have a touchdown.
They do. They need 6.
Looking to pass again. Hit as he throws. That ball's up in the air wildly. Intercepted! Bryce Rourke with the interception.
Bears ball! Bears ball!
Sixth interception on the season for Bryce Rourke.
Huge play by the Bears defense right there. Great job by Bryce Rourke. Good job of getting pressure against Devin Rogers right there. Caused him to throw it up high.
Ethan Holder hitting Devin Rogers as he threw the ball, and he was wildly up in the air. And Rourke, again, just like he did the pass last week, he just goes up and high points and gets it.
Not punt into this wind, y'all might want to bring that up.
Yeah, we're sitting in a situation now, again, we need that clock to move. That clock has to move. Now, the thing we got going against us, number one, the wind. It's going to make it difficult to try to get it down the field if we do have to punt the ball. They're still going to have great field position if that happens. But number two, what we're looking at is the fact that they also still have all 3 of their timeouts. So look for Coach Preston to use some of those.
This handoff goes to Marksbury, tries to get around the edge. No, Gabe Bowling keeps that one.
The clock's going to keep running right now. Coach Preston electing not to use any of his timeouts yet.
No gain on the play, 2nd down.
No gain. 2nd down and 10 for the Bears. Two and a half minutes to go. Spencer County leads 7-3. Not much of a game there either. Bowling again keeps the ball. Gets forward for maybe a yard on that play. Brings up 3rd down and 9.
Coach Preston still not elected to use a timeout. It's going to be well under 2 minutes before this ball has to be snapped again, and you got to wonder about that. You know, they do have to have a touchdown. Yes, if we punt the ball, we are punting into this wind, and it's not going to be an easy punt, and they're more than likely they're going to end up with good field position because of it. But you got to have time on the clock, Bo, if you're going to try to score.
Timeout, Spencer County. Marksbury elects to let the clock run down as far as he can.
And that's going to
calling
be
that timeout.
Yeah, that's going to be his last timeout too. And so no opportunity to stop the clock after this. Of course, you know, it's not much that we really want to stop the clock, you know, so trying to keep that thing moving. Still surprised that Coach Preston didn't use at least one during that drive to try to slow that clock down, save himself a little bit more time. But you know, this is an important 3rd down. If the Bears can get a first down here, that's huge. You know, Coach Preston still would be able to, with his timeouts, force us to try to have to get another first down to be able to really run the clock out. But that's first down, make him use those timeouts, make him use that clock, and that would be huge for this Bears team.
3rd down and 9. Ball on the Spencer County 13-yard line. Minute 42 left to go in the ball game. Spencer County leads 7-3. Really need a first down here for the Bears. That ball's going to go up the middle to Eli Ballard. John Hardin says they have the football, John, but I believe he's going to be down.
Yeah, Eli Ballard able to get a few yards there, but it was just will bring up a fourth down. And, you know, as luck would have it, the wind has settled a little bit, Bo. You know, it's not nearly as settled as we'd like it to be, but, you know, still a situation where Preston's going to have to use a timeout. And then the Bears are going to be able to come out here, have an opportunity to punt and bring their defense out to win this championship.
Again, minute 35 to go. Time out there by Coach Preston and the Bulldogs. That leaves them with 2. Wind almost right into the face of Jack Kennedy. He's got to keep his ball low, John.
Got to keep it low.
You got to have the Tiger Woods stinger right here.
You know, this is also one of those where you need that that coverage. Coverage has got to get downfield. Stay in your lanes. We do have a flag on the play. I think we're going to have an offsides. No, going to be a false start against Spencer County. That's going to back them up a little bit, make it a little bit harder. This wind keeps settling a little bit more and a little bit more. I'd like to see it come all the way down to be able to get this punt off, though.
It'd be nice to see a good 40, 45-yard kick right here. Devin Rogers back deep to return. In minute 34 seconds left. I think they're trying to get a second put back on the clock. It was a minute 35. There it is.
They just did. Yep.
Minute 35 left to go. John Hardin with 2 timeouts. Another flag. We're shooting ourselves in the foot here, John.
Yeah, we're backing up and we're getting further and further. We need to have every bit of yardage we can have here, you know. Minute 35 left in the game, giving the ball back to John Hardin. Granted, they need a touchdown to win, but, you know, we can't help them.
Rogers now standing on the Spencer County 35-yard line for this punt. Inside the 35. No win now. Smart move.
There you go.
Smart football right there. Kennedy ran over to the sideline there.
Yep. Ran it back into the end zone, fell on the ball, took a safety to give them 2 points. It does bring a field goal opportunity to where they can kick that to win, but that's also going to bring us out.
The field.
Yeah, they're going to bring us out now to where we have better field position to kick this ball from.
Let's go down to Phillips.
That's a great play call. It does bring that field goal into play, but now he can squib it and keep it low out of this wind. And if he kicks it, if he puts a good one, they are going to have to go 70 or 80 yards here maybe. So let's hope this works out. But if it does, it looks like a genius call.
Not something I had even considered, Bo, to be honest with you. I'm sitting here looking at field position. I'm thinking you got to keep them as far back as you can. And that's essentially what's going to happen here for Spencer County. They're going to be able to affect the field position of this game. Minute 31
left.
That's
a kickoff from the 20. That's 20 yards back further, but still, it's.
Yeah, he can actually get a leg into this a little bit more. Like Coach Phillips said, be able to keep it down a little bit. Try to run it along the ground, make it difficult for them to field.
Line drive kick goes to Keandre Strand.
Ball's on the ground.
He picks it up. Brought down by a host of Bears about the 47-yard line.
Minute 25, and they're going to have to go 51, 52 yards down the field to be able to get the touchdown. But, of course, yeah, they still have the field goal opportunity there. They do.
Now the question becomes, what's field goal range? He did kick the one earlier from 27. That was good.
Yeah, winded is back like this, you might say 5 more yards, maybe, to be comfortable if you're Coach Preston. If you're, obviously a situation like this, if it comes down to it, he's going to send him out there and have to try to kick as long as one as he can, to get the win.
And off to the up back. That's Isaiah Harris, met by a host of Bears. Bears come out with a football, but he's going to get forward.
And Coach Preston's going to use the second timeout. Oh, no. We have an official timeout. Player down on the field. We don't see a number right now who that might be. It looks like a 53.
53, that's Solomon Bennett.
Yeah.
And that's their best defensive player. You don't get cramps in 30-degree weather.
Yeah, it would be one of those that he's working on that knee a little bit. I
hope it's a cramp.
Yeah, I
do.
really do. He's a great player, and it'd be somebody that really don't want to see anybody get hurt bad. He's having a difficult time walking on that. Couple of his
Gain of
teammates.
3 on the play. Second down and 7.
Bears needing a defensive stance here. This is second down, looking about second down and 7. Minute 14 left in the game.
Ball just across midfield. Probably to feel safe. Coach Preston's going to need about another 30 yards, John.
I would say 30, 25 maybe, and you'd roll the dice.
Looking to pass. Goes long. He's got a man open.
Broken up
again.
Great job by Bryce Rourke over there in coverage. Able to really sit down and making the play. Yeah.
Bryce made up a lot of ground there.
He did.
To get to that. That does stop the clock with 1:02, but that brings up 3rd and 7. And what is undoubtedly 4-down territory now.
Yeah,
they have to go. This is
the
season right here. 1 minute, 2 seconds left to go.
You don't get this first down, your season's over if you're John Hardin. The 3rd down, definitely 2-down territory.
Handoff goes to Strand, tries to get around the left side. Got a little bit of room. He's going to get forward enough for the first down. That'll move the sticks with 55.6 seconds left to go. Clock running again. Stick around after the game for trophy presentation for the district championship. Going to go back to Strand again. Met by a bunch of Bears. Brought down
and inbounds.
Nick Stowe brought him down inbounds. That clock continues to run. Coach Preston's got to use another timeout here.
There, I think he's going to.
He's got one more left.
He's got one more left after this, but that leaves him just that one timeout. And you got to imagine he's got to save that timeout in a situation he might need it to be able to run his
kicker on.
So definitely not at a spot on the field where you'd be comfortable kicking the ball. Our scoreboard up here shows the ball on the 49. I don't think anybody's adjusted that. I don't believe that's where the football is.
I believe it's on the 30.
I think it's on the 39 or around that. But still, you're looking at needing probably 15 yards to be comfortable, even with the wind at your back with the kick. That 15 yards would leave you a 42-yard field goal attempt. And so needing that last time out, looking at a 2nd and 11 right now.
Rogers under center, turns, hands the ball off, goes to the right side. Bears set the edge, take him down.
Clock's
Andrew
running
Carson,
again.
brought down by Jackson McClendon. Clock continues to run, 25 seconds
John
left.
Hardin hurrying up to the
Hurrying
line.
up to get up to the line. John, they got to throw the ball here, don't they? Now they're going to spike it.
They spiked
gonna
the ball.
bring up
That's going to
fourth
fourth
down.
down. Yes, fourth down. They are not in field goal range that we know of right now. Spiking that ball, leaving themselves at fourth down. If they don't convert this is the ball game, Bo.
Yep. Why would you do that and still have a timeout left? Why wouldn't you run that play, John?
Yeah, I don't know. That's when you got a timeout in your pocket. That's when you got to try to do something to get some yardage. We're hearing from the sidelines that the kicker might have came into the field. Yeah, and he's lining up right now. He's looking
That's
at
a 50-yarder.
a 50-yard field goal. He does have the wind at his back. We talked about that earlier. Of course, the
Wind's
safety.
nothing like it was 15 minutes ago.
No,
though.
it's calmed down quite a bit.
They should have run that play there.
Should have run that play.
Well, it's fourth down. They should have run that third down play and then not get it. Use the timeout to run their kicker.
We got a 50 yards. 50-yard field goal attempt here by John Hardin. This is the season right here. Ball's
that
up.
kick is up.
And it's no good.
It's no good.
Spencer County ball.
Win the
Spencer
ball
County
game.
ball. We are going to be able to go out as district champions this year. 13 seconds, 13.4 seconds left on the clock. Bears will have to go out. Victory formation. We got to make it official. But Spencer County, by all rights, has won the district championship for the first time in the history of the program. And really, I mean, kind of a mess up by Coach Preston, or at least his offense, if it was a failure of communication or something like that, because I'm with you, Bo. You have to run that play on third down. You have to, at least if you don't get the first down on third down, at least try to get a couple more yards. Do everything you can for your kicker right there to get him as close as you can to make that field goal attempt. If you get the first down, it's all the better. But, you know, they really hurt themselves by clocking the ball there. Victory formation for the Bears.
Formation for the Bears. 13.4 seconds. Got to do it one time. Now the clock's ticking.
Bears are going to win.
Bears win.
And that's the ball game. Spencer County Bears are the district champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, stay with us for our post-game.
The baseball score of 7-5.
7-5. But two teams that have been offensive powerhouses for the entire season, to have a game 7-5, congratulations has to go to John Hardin. And as hard as they fought in this game, as well as they came in, they were prepared to play the Spencer County team, and it showed the entire game. It boiled down to that one drive. You know, be able to come out after halftime, make the adjustments that Spencer County was able to do to get the ball down the field the way they were, score that touchdown, and that was it.
Spencer County, a power team that averages close to 400 yards a game all year long, 188 yards of offense, and now the students come out onto the field to celebrate with the players.
I tell you, it's a special moment right here for Spencer County, for all the Bears fans out there, for these students. Everything that's happened this season between some injuries, with Cam breaking his arm, and, Wade was out for a few weeks, and, Nick Stowe missed some time, but, this is a great thing to see. The celebration's going to be going on for a little while tonight in Taylorsville, I believe. Everybody who sit out here in the wind, in the rain, in the cold, enjoying a district championship for the Spencer County Bears.
Respective 40-yard lines for the trophy presentations tonight.
Pretty awesome moment right here.
Trophy given to John Hardin, to Coach Preston right there, the runner-up of the district.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go for tonight's trophy presentations. First for John Hardin. The district runner-up, Class 4A.
Again, I love these Bears, Bo. I really do. And this team has been a special team, but my heart does go out to John Hardin out there. Those boys are hurting right now. They gave everything they had tonight. The celebration out there, this is great. This is great to see these students out on the field. I didn't want to say anything, but when Bryce Rourke made that interception on the next to last drive that John Hardin actually had, the student section cleared out.
They did.
They went down to the end of the field. They were ready to charge onto this field to celebrate this. And I'm thinking to myself, it's early. What's going to happen? And so it's a great job by these boys. They're going to take an opportunity right here to get their picture taken with the district championship trophy. And now we get to look forward to what happens in the other games. Do you have any updates on any of those scores, Bo?
We have a final from Johnson Central. Johnson Central defeated Letcher County Central 50-14. This game that was showing Central ahead earlier, 28-7 over Franklin County. Now it's showing Franklin County up 14-8. So I don't know what the deal is there. Spencer County, of course, defeating John Hardin here tonight 7-5. Boyle County defeated Lexington Catholic 47-13. At halftime, Logan County leads Hopkinsville 19-10. Corbin is leading Lincoln County 35-21 in the fourth quarter. Franklin Simpson leads Allen County Scottsville. No, that is at the half, 21-20.
The celebration continues out there, Bo, and it's great. And I wish we had a little bit better when it comes to the updated scores. Bo's giving you everything he can search for. Of course, some of these games, one of the big one we talked about earlier with Logan County and Hopkinsville, that one happening in Central Time Zone, so that in itself put them so much further behind our kickoff, and not likely to know the score for the end of that game by the time we wrap up here. But again, if we can, Franklin County or Logan County, either one lose, we will be at home next week.
Coach Marksbury gathering his team as always, holding up that district title.
It's a great group of young men. We've watched it all year long, Bo. We've watched this team. They've grown. How much they play for each other, how much they do for each other, how much they love each other out there. I mean, this is a very, very special Spencer County team. Not because they're the first one to ever win the district championship, but from the interviews that we've heard from the Brown Realty players of the game, from the coaches, different things we talked to with them, just where we've even had conversations not on the air with coaches or players or things like that. You can tell this is a special group of young men, Bo.
Really is. I mean, and you hear it every interview we've done in this Brown Realty Player of the Game interviews. It's all, I'm playing for my brothers. They always talk about their brothers. Every interview, every kid we've done. I mean, it's just they do. They go out there, they play for each other. They know what they got to do. They're oversized mini games, but you can't measure the heart, and this team's got the heart that a lot of teams don't have.
Well, it looks like we got some players coming over for the Gatorade jug right now.
Yeah,
they might be a little late for that. It might be a little difficult to catch Coach Marksbury.
Coach Marksbury's getting ready to get wet.
Yeah, I think so. Well, there he's looking. He's looking. He's seeing what's going on. Now he's turned around. Now he's not sure. Now somebody's got a hold of him.
Go get Coach Hall.
These boys just having a good time out here. And why not?
Roxbury just
there
held
we
his
go.
hands up.
Got the Gatorade back. He probably isn't going to get much wetter anyway,
Yeah.
so he might as well just take it in stride and go on. These boys have earned it, and they've earned themselves another week of playing time, Bo. Great job by this Spencer County team again. Again, not what we expected from this game. I mean, we come into this game and figured that we're going to end up with an offensive showdown, knowing that John Hardin had some different weapons. Here, let's go down to Coach Phillips there. He's got Coach Marksberry.
All right, Coach Marksberry, this all starts about June, right? Here we stand in pretty much middle of November. First one, what you got?
We've been kicking the door a long time, man. We've been after it and finally got it. I mean, it wasn't the prettiest thing, 7-5. I mean, it looks like a baseball game, but, hey, whatever it took. Look, it was a rough night. I mean, I knew John Hardin was going to come in and be ready to play, and, hey, these guys battled and played hard. And what about the defense? I mean, they just kept battling and everything like that. And then Eli, all year long, I mean, we've had so many backs who shared the ball, and he's fresh. And you can tell when he's running and everything like that. And I'm proud of him. It's a big moment for him. He's a senior. He's led us, and so proud of that whole team. I mean, it's just it's big for our program, and got us a district championship, and we get to play for the region next week, and we're excited. Hopefully we can play that right here.
Let's hope. Hey, so first one, and I don't know, I think we started playing football in 2004 here, maybe something like that, Bo's telling me. A lot of hard work, man, and there's a lot of people that have put a lot of time and effort in this. I know we can't get to all those guys and all those people, but, man, you put a staff together, you've got these kids bought in, they believe. Hey, let's kick it off again next week, right?
Right, keep this thing going. But, yeah, I mean, you're right. We have a great staff. And, I mean, I'll tell you, you cannot do this without senior leadership. And I mean this. This is not coach speak, because when you don't have good senior leadership, your team suffers. And we have phenomenal senior leadership, and it starts with this guy right here. And I'm just telling you, it's a difference maker. I love our team, and it's why we do it. And this is not the perfect weather, but hey, it's I'm excited, and I mean, you can see the excitement. That's why you do it. You see kids excited like that, and then Eli's getting to enjoy you all. And I mean, John Hardin, I mean, they battled and competed, but proud of our guys.
We're ready to come back and do it next week. Good job. Eli Ballard, 11 carries, 115 yards, all right? I think unofficial. Yeah, and look, there's none bigger than those first couple to start the second half, man. We struggled in the first half. You all went in. What was said at halftime?
At halftime, we just said we need to get our heads in the game, and we need to score. If we put up points, our defense can handle the rest. So go out there, line block perfectly for me. I busted out a couple runs, and the defense did exactly what we wanted them to do. They stopped them, and really, I just think the defense is the reason we won the game. There's no other thing about it.
For sure. 7-5. I mean, like you said, yeah, that looks more like a softball score or a baseball score. But, hey, we come back next week. We're not done, right?
No, we're not done. No, definitely not.
Let's keep going, all right? We appreciate you, Eli Ballard. Great job, all right? Good job. All right, gentlemen, so here we stand, district champs. I don't know where we're going to be next week. If we have to pack up and drive 3 hours, let's go pack up 3 hours and drive, all right?
Yeah, and you better believe it. We'll definitely be there. And anybody listening here, tonight was one of those nights. Weather, may have affected some people being able to come out, with the rain and the wind and the cold. And we understand it, and we're proud to do what we do here at GHP Sports and be able to stream these games for people. And next week, if it is a situation where we are driving 3 hours to do it, we're going to be there, and we're going to do all we can to bring you that game.
We will definitely be there no matter where this game's played at. They play it on the moon, John. I don't think I'd miss it.
I don't think I would either. This is a special team. This has been a special season, and proud to support these Bears.
We still don't have any definite word from we'll probably know tonight, folks. Those of you that follow KHSAA and kind of look around at scores, keep a big eye on the Franklin County Central game and the Logan County Hopkinsville game. If Franklin County or Logan County loses, we will play here next week.
Yeah,
if both of those teams win, we will be on the road. So that's the way that's going to measure out. We don't know Exactly. We'll probably be at Logan County.
Yeah, more than likely. If both of those teams win, I don't see a scenario where we're not at Logan County.
We're at Logan County.
And so, that being on the other side of Bowling Green, a little bit of a drive for people around here. So, again, if you can't make it, which we hope everybody can, we love doing what we do. We're glad and happy to be able to produce these things, to do this broadcast, but we want to see these stands filled every chance we get. So, but if you can't happen to make it out there to Bowling Green, we will be there for you.
The scores I've got here, I'll give them one more time, and this is by no way official, but the scores I have at halftime: Logan County leads Hopkinsville 19-10, and Franklin County leads Central 14-8. And again, that is by no way official. That's just an app I've got on my phone, folks, that I try to keep up with as many of these games as possible, but that's where we stand. But either way, it doesn't matter. These Bears are going to show up to play next week, whether it be right here on their home field or whether they're at Logan County or Franklin County or wherever it may be. They're going to be there. So, again, that's we'll go over some stats, I guess, John, a little bit. We kind of forgot that in the celebration here. But,
it's a little bit of fun,
Again, Spencer County, I talked about it a minute ago, a team that averages close to 400 yards a game, finishes with only 188 yards of total offense tonight, but that's enough to win the ball game. John Hardin, 262 yards, 228 on the ground for John Hardin. All 188 yards from Spencer County came by way of the rush. Leaders in this game for Spencer County: Eli Ballard, our Brown Realty player of the game, 11 rushes for 116 yards. And Gabe Bolin, 13 rushes for 64 yards and a touchdown. Kellen Marksbury, 6 rushes for 11 yards. And Wade Hutt, 3 for 8. On the John Hardin side, leader Keandre Strand, again, second game in a row, we've held him well below his average, John. 18 rushes for 83 yards for Strand. Devin Rogers, 5 for 42. Isaiah Harris, 12 for 42. And Andrew Carson, 8 for 38. Devin Rogers was 3 of 10 through the air for 34 yards, and through an interception, big interception. Bryce Rourke, 6th interception on the season.
Huge interception. But yeah, it's again what we talked about. The weapons that both these teams have. We expected much more. We really did. We expected to see this offensive battle. We expected to see a very high-scoring game, and I got to admit, I'm shocked. Really shocked by that score, but thrilled to death that we came out on the right side.
Well, we played through a couple tornadoes tonight, but we've made it through it. And Spencer County, district champions. First time ever. Next week, playing for the regional championship. And that's going to be it for what we have here tonight. Your score, Spencer County, your 2021 district champions, wins tonight over John Hardin, 7-5. And that's all we got here from GHP Sports. We'll see you next Friday night, wherever it may be.